I've dug into my. I used to do these back in before COVID in 2019, man. Right, so I've dug into like I haven't used this microphone since 2019. Yeah. So do you recognize the place? Actually, do you know where we are?
No way. What, in the living room? Yeah. So, have you decorated? What's going on?
It's a home studio now, right? Just for you.
Fantastic.
We're already recording, so just go on.
Melanie must be delighted with this.
Well, she's not here.
So have you got to put all this away before she gets back?
No, I've actually what do you call it? FaceTimed her and showed her. And she was like, "Wow!" I'm like, "Yeah, but don't worry, tomorrow morning is going to be gone. She's not here, right?" So, but I mean, it's this is a place we've done parties in, we've done New Year's Eve and dancing, and now we've done a podcast as well.
Awesome,
yeah, with you. So
you should open it up for hire.
For yes.
New income stream.
New income stream, exactly. Okay. Yeah, we are recording actually, so. Paolo, welcome back to the... You don't have to look at the camera. You can look at me. Okay. It doesn't really matter. Guys, for those who are just listening to what we're exchanging about having a podcast studio, we're recording this in my living room. So the sound might be very echoey because it's not treated at all. I have a window behind me, so that will echo and tremble the whole way. So it doesn't really matter. The point is, I wanted to have Paolo with me. It's easier to do it over beers, though he's driving, so you cannot actually have a proper...
Yeah, it's alcohol-free beer.
Alcohol-free beer, but that's fine, yeah. So you don't have to watch the video, guys. I'm just doing this for those who are watching. But also for you, if you're just listening, this is where the sound might sound a little bit different. As I just said, I haven't used these in 6 years. Thank God I still have them to do this. We said with Paolo, it must be much funner to actually look at each other instead of trying to do that like on a on a screen. On a screen. We've spent enough time on those already, right?
Yeah.
And also Paolo, he doesn't know. I mean, he knows a little bit, but don't say anything. He's also helping me testing this because I will need this in a future podcast. I will need some setup I can actually put somewhere. So I was like, Paolo, you're the perfect guinea pig for tonight.
Perfect. I am the world's biggest guinea pig, right? Can you imagine if, you and I are very similar in size and stature? We're 6'5" each.
Yeah.
I won't say about weight, but, if we turned into guinea pigs, the world would be a scary place, right?
It would be, yeah. I think, absolutely. I think so. Though we are guinea pigs for airlines now because with our heights and, the room we're taking. This is actually why I also wanted you to have, we need to do the good luck first, right? You're not going to hear it because of this. Us now, you have your headphones. You're going to hear it.
Yeah. I just want to tell you both good luck. We're all counting on you.
But good luck to the airlines. This is what I want. One of the reasons I want to have Paolo is first, of course, last time he was on, it was super fun and a lot of people loved it. So I said, why not coming back? He's coming back. The second bit is that I had a lot of feedback from Premium Economy from the previous episode, and you've flown Premium Economy with BA as well. So this is part of what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk a little bit more about Premium Economy. It sparked a lot of conversations online. We're recording this, by the way, on look at my watch, the 3rd
of November.
Thank you. Someone's been paying attention to today. It's a Monday. I'm going to open my beer very soon. On a Monday night, man. Oh, well, anyway, the weekend never ends, right?
Absolutely.
Plus
it's dark, it's raining.
Is it raining outside?
It's pouring rain now, right?
Oh my God, I've been in. Yeah, that's the other thing. You guys, you don't see, and you don't have to watch the video again, but I've had over the weekend a leak just above our heads. It's not in the frame of the camera, neither is his or mine. So I hope it's not going to rain too much. Otherwise, you're going to have a leak once we're recording this podcast. And the guy's only coming tomorrow, by which time I will have removed all this anyway. So I said, I wanted to talk about Premium Economy, which is why I have you. I wanted to talk about BA, which is also why I have you. And boys, there's going to be a lot about BA. Don't spoil it, please.
Yep.
And so we have, like you said, a lot in common. We have our heights in common. We have our names are very common.
Yep.
We have our birthday nearly common. How many days?
5 days apart.
Who's the oldest?
You. I am. Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Do I owe you respect?
Yes. Respect your elders. Yes. So whatever I say is right.
Whatever you say. Oh my God, he's going to talk about BA today, and I cannot say he's wrong. Cheers to that. And and oh, by the way, because before I forget, I wanted to say hi to Max, who was at my birthday celebration in the same space, actually, and outside. It was, thank God it was not raining that day. And you were doing actually the barbecue.
I cooked the barbecue, yeah.
You were amazing. You had this apron. What was it?
Born to cook since 1975.
He's a much better cook than I am. And so Max, my friend, the photographer, did this, and that was cool. And I know he listens every episode, sometimes in the car, so you're not going to see what I just showed. It's a card he made me, and I love this. So thank you, Max. I appreciate that you listen, even though I don't know how much he loves aviation, but he listens every single time, just said, because Paul, you're doing a podcast, I must listen. So maybe actually, you know what? A lot of the people listening are just doing that. They don't care about aviation. They just listen because they're nice to us, you and me.
Yeah, well, they've got nothing better to do.
Well, we clearly don't have anything better to do tonight.
They've watched every show on Netflix and Amazon Prime, and they've read every book on Kindle, and this is the last thing to do. Well,
another thing you can do is listening to some music. So here you go for again, can I? So we have a lot in common, and last time you were here, I don't have my notes in front of me, but I think it was episode 137, where you went to Cambodia and Vietnam.
Yep, correct. 2 weeks after you.
2 weeks after me. And this time I go to Africa, and like a week after me, and not even like the day I think I returned, the day you were leaving to Africa as well, right?
Yeah, we were in T5 at the same time as you were in the arrivals, I was in departures.
Are you following me?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But of course, you can't criticize because I'm older than you. Yeah. So I'm right.
So yeah, you're right. So he's actually a stalker, and he's in my house right now, which is the best idea. I've invited a stalker to my own house.
Yeah.
So, let's do that. Where did you go?
So I went with my wife to Kenya and Tanzania.
Oh, nice.
So we did a Kenyan safari in the Masai Mara for a few days, and then went over to Zanzibar for a week of chilling out and relaxing, and then back to Nairobi for a night. 24 hours, and we had a bit of a mooch around some of the neighbourhoods of Nairobi, which was amazing, and then back to the UK. So, I mean, you did Africa, I did Africa, both, I think, for a couple of reasons, but we both wanted to explore the continent, so we started that process, and we reached a landmark birthday each, so it was kind of a treat, wasn't it?
Yeah,
so
it was absolutely a treat, and I know he's already told me a little bit about his trip, so I know it was a treat as well. Had you ever had, was it like something on your bucket list to do like a safari?
Yeah, that was on the bucket list. Long time, yeah. Oh. So we've done a lot of Southeast Asia. I've been fortunate enough to go to South America. We've done Australia. So safari was the next kind of big thing. Mm-hmm. And it seemed a logical time to do it. So it was a bucket list thing. I'll talk a bit more about the trip as we go through.
Yeah, we have all the time.
But the holiday itself, holiday of a lifetime.
Yeah. Actually, me too. I think people got that from the last episode. That for me was probably my best trip. There's no such thing. You cannot really, rank them because they were so different.
No, absolutely.
But it was really I would rank it up there, or I would actually qualify it as one of the best things I've ever done. Yeah, right.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah. I think, like you say, you can. We're both well travelled. We both love travelling. We love going around the world. And when I talk to friends, family, and just people in general and say, travel's one of my big things, and they say, well, where's your favourite place? And you can't quantify a favourite place because there are favourite places for different things, right?
Yeah.
So, what's your favourite city? What's your favourite natural wonder? What's your favourite thing? What's your favourite beach? So there's loads of different stuff. So you can never say, this is my favourite, but the trip as a whole was, up there.
I agree. It's like saying your favorite food, your favorite music. I mean, you can be eclectic. You can have many things that are favorite. I fully agree with you. It's really hard, but like you, there's a bit of a recency bias sometimes. After a trip, I will always say this is the best trip because it's the one I just had, but I still think it is. I've went to another place, which we'll talk in another podcast, since it was also a new country, but I think it's really, and it made me fall in love. We'll get there because I know it happened to you as well. It made me fall in love completely with Africa.
Yeah.
Like with Africans, especially with people there. I mean, I loved the people. I said that at the end of the last episode, guys. I'm not going to repeat myself. Was it the same with you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was one of the big things that made it, because we went with an idea of what it was going to be like, what we're going to do, etc., etc. But the soft touch points that you can't really quantify until you've been.
Yeah.
And the people are one of those things, and the friendliest people we've ever met.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because they were forced to do stuff because, we were on holiday and they are there to act as representatives for the hotel or the camp or the safari. You got the impression they wanted to do it.
Yeah.
They know the importance of tourism. They know what it brings to their country, what it brings to their communities. And they were just outstanding. There wasn't one element of my time in Kenya and Tanzania where it wasn't even had bad service. I didn't even have mediocre service. Everything was outstanding.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Everything was outstanding.
Yeah, the people really made the... Did you, going back to safari, so you had never done a safari before, or had you?
We'd done safari for a day when we were in Sri Lanka at the beginning of this year.
I've never been to Sri Lanka. What was it?
So Yala National Park.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go back to do the safari in Sri Lanka.
Okay.
It's an uncontrolled environment. So you go into Yala National Park, which is in the southeast of the country.
Yeah.
And they have leopards and elephants and everything else. I mean, elephants are everywhere in Sri Lanka. You'll see elephants wherever you go. But it's very much about you can go and see the leopards. So we booked a trip as part of our tour around Sri Lanka. The morning we were picked up, the guide said to us, we're going to go into the park. We're there all day. And it was 165,000 acres. So it's a fairly sizable place. And he's like, oh, but there's only 40 leopards.
40? Oh.
40, yeah. So he said the chances of actually seeing them are very slim. I'm like, okay. And we went in and there were hundreds of safari jeeps. And we didn't see a leopard all day. And it was over-touristed. That was a prime example of over-touristed. Yeah. Whereas what we did in Kenya, in the Masai Mara, and we went to a private conservancy, which is all part of the Masai Mara Park, but it's a part that's controlled. So you can only have so many camps and lodges. When you go and spot an animal or group of animals, you can only have 5 trucks around the animal. And there's rangers out there that see that, and then they move you on if there's too many trucks. So it was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I agree. I had the same experience that the private parks, obviously they're private, so by definition they'll control the environment, but the private parks were by ourselves basically. And I didn't have that that I must see the big 5, big 4, depending on where you are. There's some, first of all, for those who don't know, the big 5 are the animals that trophy hunters used to hunt. So they're the most difficult animals to hunt because they were aggressive towards human beings. So now you're going with your camera. So it's not exactly the same. I didn't have this kind of, I need to hit them all. Whereas I could see a lot of tourists, a lot of visitors. It was almost like a bucket list. If they hadn't seen like a rhino, they were almost getting upset at the guide. And I was like, guys, it's nature. They cannot control. Otherwise, go to a zoo, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
We got lucky. We got to see the 4 that exist there, but it was really lucky. And it was not, we didn't pressure the guide to do it. Was it the same with you? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. So we had a guide. So we stayed on a camp and we had a driver for the 4 nights we were there. And it was the same driver all the time. And he said, basically I'll go different directions every time we go out, one in the morning, one in the evening, and we see what we see.
Yeah.
I mean, they had radios in the Jeep, so they were talking to the other drivers. So
yeah, of course.
If they spotted a pride of lions or, something of real interest, of course, they'll let you know, and then you drive down. And like you, we didn't see the big 5, but the big 5 don't exist in Kenya, or not in southern Kenya. So rhino don't exist in
Yeah, but I think you saw, and then guys, I promise we move on from safari because it's not a safari podcast. I saw the rhino, but no, which one did I not see? The hippopotamus, did you see?
Yeah, we saw loads of hippos.
There you go. But anyway, the point is, it's not we're going to go to the actual travel. I had a memory. We were talking about it with you the other day, Paolo, because for context, we see each other quite often.
Yeah.
And, I did a safari. I thought I never did a safari, but I did a safari in 1980 in the Everglades in Florida.
Yeah.
But that was, I don't think it exists anymore. I'm pretty sure it doesn't exist anymore. It was clearly artificial safari. They had brought all these animals.
Yeah.
Guys, you can Google Google image it, and you'll see an image. Just say Everglades Safari 1980, and you'll find it. And I've done that. The reason I remember is not so much the actual memories, because when you're 5, you don't truly remember. And by the way, I must have been 4 and something, not even 5. But I have a picture of me somewhere in my family albums with me with a lion cub on my lap.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which is, today with health and safety, it was probably dangerous as hell, but they would do it. Like, welcome to the 80s, guys. Anybody who's, our age knows that kind of stuff that doesn't exist anymore. So I've done a safari, but yeah, for me, it was never, it had never been something I really wanted to do, but I'm really happy I've done one.
Yeah, it was phenomenal.
So maybe because we're not a safari podcast, so maybe we should go. Once you had decided where you wanted to go, so you did Kenya first, right?
Yeah, Kenya
first. What were the
first.
Options? What were you thinking about which airline to take to go there?
So we had a couple of options. So Kenya and Zanzibar was one. Botswana was another option, and then South Africa was option number 3. So we decided on Kenya and Zanzibar. South Africa, I think. Well, we're actually going to South Africa in February next year.
Nice.
As a separate trip with no safari.
But lots of wine, I hope.
Lots of wine, absolutely. Yeah, lots of wine and lots of like doing other things. So yeah, Kenya and Zanzibar. Then we were like, okay, how do we get there? What do we do? Et cetera, et cetera. Obviously, lots of options. You can fly direct. You can go via the Middle East. You can go via Addis Ababa, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We have BA executive clubs. When I say we, me and my wife, Kat. And we have a companion voucher as well. So companion voucher, for those of you who don't know.
Yeah, please explain, yes.
We've got American Express cards, credit cards. And when you spend, I think it's £15,000 a year on your American Express card, you get what's called a companion voucher. And that companion voucher allows you to have one trip anywhere in the world where basically you go 2 for the price of 1.
That's amazing, man. I do not have, as people know on this podcast, I only have I have an Amex, but which is unbranded. Yeah. So I have the freedom to put my points anywhere I want. However, I don't get these 2 for 1. This is a really good deal, man.
It's really good. However, and there's always a however, there are only limited seats on every BA flight. And I think it's...
How do you find them?
So basically, when you go into the BA app or the BA website, you can say, I want to book my flight using Avios, and directly you get your companion voucher. Your companion voucher drops into the Avios piece. So it says, you have a companion voucher. Oh. So you can then scan availability for the flights that you want, where you can use the companion voucher.
I see.
On a short haul aircraft, I think they only have 1 or 2 seats per flight.
Okay.
2 seats because it's obviously 2 for 1.
Yeah.
And I think on long haul, it's 4 seats for every flight.
Oh, wow.
So you think the amount of people that have an American Express card.
Every cabin, or when you say 4 in total, do you know?
I don't know.
Okay.
And dependent on the American Express credit card you have is dependent on what cabin you can book. So if you have the basic one, you can only use it in economy. If you have the next level up, which you have to pay, I think it's £150 a year for, then it's both business and premium on top.
I see.
So that's worth paying £150 for.
Okay,
right? Yeah. So that's what we used. But because there are only limited seats, it is literally first come, first served. So we started looking at the holiday in September of 2024, and then directly the seats came out at day 330 minus 330. We booked the flights.
You are so, I always said that. I don't know if we talked about it last time we were here for episode 137. I'm pretty sure it was. You're so much more organized than I am. Yeah. I'm so much last minute, but I understand. And you're also, I need to give you respect because you're older, be more organized.
Thank you.
But I guess, the incentive is there, because if you know that 330 days before booking, before traveling, the availability gets released, and everybody obviously is trying, especially I guess for a trip like Kenya, it's pretty popular. I guess you have, so were you like refreshing, like buying Taylor Swift tickets, like you were refreshing until you found?
on day, so you can book the outward journey on T-minus 330, and it allows you to see the availability for when you return. So we were coming back 2 weeks later. You can't book that there and then, but it almost allows you to put those return tickets on hold.
That's amazing, because these are still hidden. Because oh, wow. Yeah. Because that's the thing. I always do, nothing to do with your companion voucher, but I always, when I really want to use miles, but I usually do one legs and one leg, so I have to always wait to 330. So this kind of opens, even though they're not, it tells you, oh, there is a ticket that will be in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But you still have to wait the 2 weeks to, so you have to go back that day to make sure it's yours.
To make sure it's yours. Yeah, absolutely. Wow. And then you kind of then finalize the whole trip. I like if you
So do you pay twice, or do you pay only when you finalize?
Only pay when you finalize.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So it's on hold for you until you, that's actually, you know what? For once, it's actually
pretty good, right?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that from BA's IT. I'm so sorry. Wow.
I guess that coming back to using the companion voucher and getting online at, T-minus 330 for BA, a friend of mine, who actually doesn't live that far up the road from where we're sitting right now, he uses his companion vouchers. He's got 3 young kids and has to travel during the summer holidays, etc., etc. So, for them, the companion voucher is important because they can save a lot of money in a summer holiday. And he was telling me September 24 last year, he's like, yeah, we're now starting to look at what we can book for summer holidays of this year. And he literally he knew the day they wanted to go because they booked time off work, etc., etc. So I was online at literally 1 minute past midnight of T-minus 330, and the only tickets he could get for the day they wanted to fly on a BA route was to Cincinnati.
Did he go to Cincinnati in the end?
Yeah. He went to Cincinnati, and I think he flew back. Did he fly back from Denver? They did a really odd route, and then they did a fly drive.
Well, why not, actually?
Through part of the US that he didn't really know. He said he had an amazing time. Yeah,
exactly.
Had a great time.
You can discover stuff that you might be maybe forced to because these are the only available tickets, but why not?
Yeah.
I mean, I've never been to Cincinnati and I always wanted to, so there you go. Yeah. So, oh, wow.
Yeah. So, but it shows you the importance of booking early. The European flights.
Do you use companion voucher? How many do you get? One?
You get one per year.
One per year.
Yeah.
And I guess your wife also has a credit card, so you get 2 per year because you're 2.
Yeah, absolutely. So she's got the premium card, if you like, that she pays for. So we use that for the long haul stuff.
Yeah.
And then if we want to use another companion voucher system economy, which we use for Europe, we use my card.
Oh, good. Okay,
so
that's clever.
The European flights, because obviously there's more availability on certain routes. So we have booked, I think that was, when did we book that? August. We're going to go fly out to Porto next May. And we use my companion voucher and a very small amount of Avios, and we're flying to Porto return for £2.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. So let's continue your story. So this is why you chose BA, and I would have done the same. Yeah. Where the price is expensive to go, because I found, and as you've heard, and you told me you've heard the last podcast, the last episode, I found the prices to South Africa very expensive. Is that the same thing with Kenya?
Yeah. So Kenya, there's only 2 ways of flying direct. So it's BA and Kenya Airways.
Okay.
So that's your choices. So I guess because of lack of competition, naturally it's a little bit more expensive. So we just decided BA. I think it was £1,100 return for the 2 of us in premium economy using a companion voucher. So I thought that wasn't a bad price, if I'm honest. It's an 8.5-hour flight.
Yeah.
So I didn't think it was too bad. And then if you looked at, I did look at Emirates and maybe Etihad, and it was about 4,500 return.
Yeah, plus you cannot beat your company voucher because you're basically getting a half price.
Yeah.
So there's no way.
No.
Right? So
no, absolutely.
You're fully incentivized to use BA. Okay, fine, which is fine.
Which is fine. So fast forward to September of this year, and then we fly out. So I say we flew out on the day that you came back from Joburg.
Hold on. Did you not tell me that you were trying to find a way to potentially get upgraded, leading to the
that's right. So a couple of months out, I thought, you know what, let's have a look at business class prices and see if I can upgrade.
Yeah,
right. And I just happened to look at how much it would cost just to buy a business class ticket. So I had an idea of how much it would cost to upgrade, if that makes sense, right? So, and they looked really cheap. And it's like, you know what, I think it was £1,000 more for 2 of us.
Oh, that's nothing.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's like, right, let's do it. So obviously you can't do it on the app. You have to phone. So I phoned BA and said, look, I've got a booking, gave them my booking details, etc., etc. I'd like to upgrade to business class. I know what the price differential is because I can see it online right now. So I'm happy to pay that price differential. And I was told categorically, no. And it's like, well, why not? Well, you're on a reward voucher, right? But I'm willing to pay the difference that's online right now between premium and business. So can I pay it? No.
That is awkward. I mean, I'm not sure about the rules on BA. Pardon me. I'm not sure about the rules on BA, but I know that some airlines, probably BA, do this, that if you buy a reward flight, which I guess one of the 2 tickets of your flight is a reward flight because it's a free flight, then they do not allow to upgrade. Some airlines, I remember back in the day, I think Emirates allowed it. However, and we'll talk next time Alex is on the podcast, it feels like he talked about him being upgraded twice. So I feel at the end of the day, do they want your money? That's the issue. I mean, the rule says, computer says, no, it's fine. Maybe they had a hope, and surely they had a hope to actually sell those tickets. But yeah. I mean, you know what? I would have, sorry, to keep interrupting, they could have said, maybe not for the price you were seeing. They could have just made you an offer and say, it's going to be £2,000. Maybe you were looking at 1,000, and then you have a chance to think about it to say, "I'll go for it," or no, forget it. But just to say no, it's a bit like I have my credit card in my hand. I'm willing to pay.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it wasn't as though they then said, "You know what? We can't do it now, but if you phone a week before, we'll see what availability's like and see what we can do." It's just a categoric no. Okay, weird. And to be fair, after that, it's like, okay.
Yeah, no, of course not.
Let's be done with it. And I didn't even inquire when we checked in there was a lady stood there at her desks saying, upgrades available. It didn't say which flights, because obviously when you check in for BA at T5, it's for all BA flights. So we just didn't bother.
Yeah.
So yeah, we get to the airport, we check in, we couldn't do bag drop, because it's a country with visas, so they have to do the visa check, even though we checked in online.
Oh, they have to do the visa check first.
Visa check first. So,
yeah.
But to be fair, the queues were very minimal. At T5, we went straight to a desk. He checked the visas.
Good.
Did the luggage. Off you go. So that was fine.
Yeah.
T5 itself, relatively quiet. It was nothing to rave about, but it's T5. I mean, you and I travel so often now that... especially when it's an airport you travel through all the time. It's not exciting.
No, it's not.
It's like going to a bus terminal.
Yeah, it's not. No, it will, I think this is also talking to future comments we'll make in this podcast. There's something to be said of being exposed a lot. I mean, and we said that in past episodes with Alex and with Vinod, with others as well, that being exposed so much to an airline, an airports, at some point you're like, it doesn't look exciting. And also you might see the blemishes much more strikingly, that if you were going to the first time I was at Doha airport, I was like, this is the best airport in the world. It's not. It's very good, but because the first time you're like, starry eyed and everything. So
I mean, there's some airports on my list that you've been to that I haven't, that you think this could be quite exciting. So, the likes of Doha, the likes of Istanbul, likes of Abu Dhabi, we haven't touched yet. We've been through Dubai loads of times, and that's now very similar. It's kind of, okay, it's nice.
Yes, this is fine. That's unfair, actually. I mean, you're not unfair. I think life is unfair because these guys have put a lot of, investment to keep the airport being really nice. Of course, Dubai airport as aged a bit because they know they're going to move to the other one in a few years. But we're like, oh, so what? We don't even know this. But so no, T5 is an okay terminal. I think the best is T2, but T5 is still, it's fine. It works, and they've put the new machines now. So I don't know if it was the case when you were when you were going through security. But at least it also fastens the time you spend. I mean, diminishes the time you spend at security. Yeah. So go on with your story. I'm sorry.
So security, we're probably in it 5-6 minutes. It wasn't slow, but it wasn't fast either. Compared to Gatwick, it was slow. Gatwick is slick as you like. T5 is like, I've got a queue. First world problem, right? So we go through, we have breakfast in one of the restaurants, and then we flew from T5C.
Yep.
So we jump on the transit down to T5C. I'd never flown from T5C before.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, I had some breakfast, get on the transit. It's like, okay, come upstairs into the sort of departure bit in T5C. It's like, let's go and grab a coffee before we get on the plane. there's a Starbucks in T5C. The queue. Oh man, because I think there were 4 or 5 flights going at the same time. The queue. They had one lady on her own serving.
The poor girl.
And it's like, oh man.
But I mean, that airport's that bit. We said it in the previous episode with once you've done the Starbucks, that's it.
Yeah,
there's nothing else.
I think there's a WH Smith's maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
A tiny one,
and maybe a Boots, a small.
And
Boots.
maybe a Boots. Yeah, get your last minute paracetamol.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. There's nothing else.
Yeah.
There's a few more things in B, but yeah,
it seems like an unfinished terminal. Satellite terminal. Sometimes I'm like, this. I mean, it's fine. By the way, it's really fine. So go on. Sorry.
So we then go and check in or go to the gate, stand in a queue. It was a little bit disorganised. The microphone didn't work, so there's a poor guy at the front, literally hollering down there. If you're in, group 0, come forward. Group 1, group 2, group 3. So we get on. So we flew on the A350.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So first time with BA on a 350. Have been on one in the past, which I'll come to and I'll talk about.
I know which one because it's important. Yes.
So we got on it. And 350 is lovely, right? It's, big windows, etc., etc. So we walk through business and it's the new business configuration. I have to say, my impression of that, I don't know if you had the new business configuration flying down to Joburg. I thought the little capsules looked quite small.
Yeah, so no, to answer your question about did we have that? Because, we're in premium economy like you, but they were the old yin yang on the 380, which for BA, for those who want to know, will be refurbished. So they are refurbishing the 380. It's, I don't think it's ongoing. They will start, so they will have the new business class. However, I've flown twice with this new BA Club Suite. Yeah, it's fine, by the way. I'm tall as you. I can tell you it's fine. It's a good product. Is it the best? No, but it's a good product. But it feels, and it's not the only airline, it feels a bit more cramped probably, yeah. But it's fine. Honestly, it's really nice. I'm never going to spit on business class, man. It's always going to be for people like us, especially. It's always going to be nice,
So walk through business into premium. So there's 8 rows of premium on a 350. We were in the second row on the left-hand side. So it was a 242. So we sit down, leg room. Yeah, it's good. No major issues there.
Sorry, I know I keep interrupting and people don't like when I do that, but because Vinod said, you probably had the latest version of premium economy, which might be slightly different from the one I had on the 380, which was clearly the one from 15 years ago. So I'm wondering, was it good?
The leg room was good. The guy in front of me looked at me and he's like, "Oh, you're a tall fella, aren't you?" So I said, "Yeah." He said, "I'm not going to recline."
Oh, wow.
I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm not going to recline because it won't give you enough room." And I was like, "Honestly, it's fine. You just recline because if everybody reclines, you still have the room because you can tuck your legs under the seat in front, right?"
Yeah.
So I said, "Look, if you want to recline, that's absolutely fine." First time I've encountered that, I thought, "What a nice guy for just asking." But he did. He kept to his word. He didn't recline the whole flight.
Wow.
I was like, wow, really nice guy. But then it got me thinking, and I do this when I fly. So I generally don't recline until you've had the first meal.
Mm-hmm.
Because you recline, then you got to go upright.
Yeah, it's common courtesy.
Yeah, common courtesy.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I had the meal, and then I stuck my head round the sort of the back of my seat to see who was sitting behind me, and there was a guy behind me, and I said, "Do you mind if I recline?" He said, "No, go for it." I said, "Look, I'll recline slowly, and if it gets too much, just let me know. I'm more than happy." It was a day flight as well, so it wasn't so important.
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, fully recline. It's fine." So
that's nice.
But yeah, the leg room was good. You get that little foot stool thing. I don't really get that. That for me with long legs just means your knees are in your face.
Same.
Yeah,
I hate
but
this
also
thing.
the thing that pops up that holds your knees again doesn't work for tall people.
Yes, agreed. Yeah. All these features are not made for us.
Yeah, they're right. Just give me the recline, give me that extra bit of seat pitch. Yeah, and that was 100%. That was absolutely fine. I think from a seating point of view, the only criticism I would have is because when you recline, some of the airlines now, and I forget who I watched the other day, Eva Air. I was watching Race Against the Points guys. They were trying a new Eva Air premium product. And it's in a shell. So when you recline, the seat doesn't impact the person behind.
Yeah. It is a better proposition for travelers. It's a worse proposition for airlines because they need to create the space for it. Yeah.
So the only difficulty that creates by people reclining is, so my wife sat next to me, she had the window seat, is when she wanted to get up to go to the bathroom, trying to get out because the seats recline so far, it's almost touching the thing in the between where you put your glass.
Yeah.
So she has to clamber over the seat. But
I know. It's really made for a couple. It's really made for a couple. If you are two like we were, like you were, it's fine. Mm-hmm. If I were to be sat next to a stranger, and the problem is no matter which way around, because if I'm sat, or if you're sat on the window seat, you have to climb over the stranger. Otherwise, he or she has to climb over you, or you have to. So there's no. But I mean, it's still better than economy. Yeah. Probably the only seat in economy that would compete is probably, of course, the bulkhead. So the bulkhead seat in economy, because you don't have anyone in front of you. You can still, walk around. But otherwise, it's a pretty good seat. It's fine. Yeah.
And I mean, through the flight, I don't know again if it was the same on the 380. But I was surprised that premium didn't have its own toilets. Did you have to go to economy to go to the toilet?
Our lavatories were shared with so they were at the back of our small cabin of premium economy, at the front of their cabin of economy, which meant it was for both.
Right.
But we didn't have to go to the very, very back.
Right, yeah.
Which I guess you might have to do.
We didn't have to go right to the very back. We went to the fourth door?
Okay.
So you had to go into economy, then you walk through a chunk of economy into the fourth door or the third door, however many doors are on the side of the 350 1000. So that surprised me a little bit. But again, not a massive problem. However, it did allow me to see economy and see what that was like. And actually, it looked quite spacious for BA. They had those Recaro seats, a bit like EasyJet have introduced now. Mm-hmm. So very, very thin. I don't know how comfortable they are, how much sponge is in it for a long haul flight, but that does mean you've got a little bit more room. And also, a bit like some of the old, actually Emirates is exactly the same on the 380. So if you're in economy and you've got a legroom seat by the emergency exit, you just get 2 seats rather than 3. And then you've got that one behind right next to the window, which is... can I stretch my legs to the cockpit kind of affair, right? So it had that set up. So if I was flying economy, I now know those are the seats that I would want to get.
Yeah, same. There's a similar one on the 321 at I forgot the numbering. There's a emergency exit where you have 2 and the third one is like that. Like you say, you have your legs until the cockpit. It is like your own business class. It's amazing.
Amazing, right?
But I agree. That's why I said just earlier that these kind of seats are probably overall again, if you just think about, leg room, maybe not width, but leg room, these are better than a regular premium economy, but it's fine. Yeah.
So I think, and then the entertainment system on BA, I thought was really good. Loads of stuff to watch, keep me occupied for hours if I wanted to do it. So I think from a hard product point of view, good. That's where it ends.
Go on.
The soft product.
So let me pause you right here now.
Yeah.
How long have you been flying with BA? A long time, I guess.
Yeah. So actually, my first ever flight was with BA in 1978. And I flew on a Hawker Siddeley Trident.
Wow.
Yeah. Flew to Italy. So my mum used to work for BA. In fact, worked for BEA back in the day, and then they went to BA. My grandfather worked for BA. My uncle worked for BA. So it's an airline I have an affiliation to.
Yeah.
So I've seen the good and I've seen the bad.
And you've flown quite a lot since 1978.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Because every time we talk so for context for you guys or the audience, every time I talk with you, it's mostly BA on long haul and EasyJet on short haul. These are you basically split, right? Yeah.
I think if we don't have companion vouchers to use, then we look at other airlines. We've flown with loads of other airlines.
Yeah, we'll go to that after later on. Yeah.
But yeah, going back to the hard and the soft product, hard product, good. Not amazing, good. Soft product, it just, you know what? It started as I walked down the gangway to the plane, right? So bearing in mind, and I don't know if you get this, but this really annoys me. So obviously you have to show your boarding card to go through security at the airport. Get that? Absolutely fine, right? You get to the gate. You have to show your boarding card and your passport and everything else. You get to the door of the aircraft. So you've walked through the gate and you're now on the jetty or whatever it is, why do you need to show your boarding card again? Yeah. So, my wife's in front of me. She shows her boarding card, and I say, "Yeah, turn right, and you're the second seat on the right side in premium." I said, "Oh, I'm with her, and we're sat next to one another." "Oh no, I need to see your boarding card." I was like, "But why?" "We just do," and that was the.
So maybe first I will say maybe it's a policy. And they don't have a choice. The flight attendant cannot just go, they will go to the policy in a minute, I know. But I would say the other reason that could be is I know, but we'll ask Vinod next time because he used to be an actual flight attendant, whereas you and me haven't been. I'm not sure maybe we're too tall to be flight attendants, probably, maybe at KLM. Do they not want to spot people that are able? Like in case there's an emergency, in case there is an issue, in case there's, whatever, bad guys in the aircraft. Do they not want to, and I'm not saying that here it's a reason they ask everybody, because that could simply be because they want to make sure that actually you're in the right aircraft.
Yep.
But here, maybe that case, they look at you and say, okay, this is a guy that can subdue a terrorist or something, so I want to know where he's sat.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm just making complete. I mean, maybe I'm making shit up.
I get the point of the emergency thing. So if you're in an emergency row,
okay, fine,
they want to make sure. But they always come up and ask you, are you willing and able to open the door and show you how to do it, etc. Right. So that rules that bit out. So I don't know. It's
just maybe a policy.
Yeah, but it's just. It is what it is attitude. It's like, oh God, it's going to be one of those things. And I get it that she's probably had, 10 million other arseholes that have done this in the last 6 weeks, and she's sick and tired of it.
6 hours, actually.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so by the by. So that was the first thing. Anyway, we then take off, bang on departure, bang on time departure to the second, I have to say.
Wow.
I mean, I was clock watching, and the wheels started to move bang on 00. I'm like, wow, this is good, right?
Wow.
So it's good. So we take off, all good. Cabin crew come round with the menus. So you get a menu, 3 options. So leave the menus with us. So we decide what we're going to eat. They then come round with the drinks trolley and start pouring drinks. All fine, except the poor cabin crew lady pulled the drinks trolley on top of herself, right next to where I sat.
Oh no!
And she cut her hand. So a bottle, I think it was a bottle of wine, fell off the top of the trolley, smashed, went everywhere, glass on her hands, etc. So she was bleeding quite a lot.
Oh wow!
Not one of her colleagues came to help her. Not one.
Really?
No. So she's there, poor lady, clearing up, and, I'm sat there, the guy in front of me, the other side of the aisle, everyone's like, do you want a hand? We're putting the trolley up and, trying to rearrange stuff, and it's like, right, first of all, go and get yourself cleaned up.
Yeah, she's bleeding.
And then come back. So, but then she came back, and I had nothing to pick up glass with.
So not even like a piece of cloth?
No. So she's there with her bare hands, picking up glass, putting it in a polythene bag. Then one of her colleagues turns up with a dustpan and brush after a few minutes, gives her the dustpan and brush and walks off. So
okay, maybe but that's maybe simply I don't know.
Yeah,
but that could be simply that they all have. They're not that the airlines in BA as well has limited so much the number of staff on board. They all have their own role, and now. If everybody's, it's still bad. They should attend to her, but maybe everything gets delayed afterwards. And then on another Paolo on another seat will say, my food came with 25 minutes late and was cold.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying but still it's a bad look.
There was no teamwork.
Yeah,
that's all. And I generally felt sorry for the lady.
Of course.
And she said, the problem we have, and she was very open and honest with sort of people that were helping her. She said, the trolleys now are so small because the aisle is so small.
Oh, narrow, you mean?
Yeah, narrow. Everything becomes top heavy. So she said, you only need a little rut in the carpet on the plane and the trolley goes over. So I was like, Jesus.
Shit.
So that was that. That wasn't an inconvenience. That wasn't a bad thing. I actually genuinely felt sorry for her.
Yeah.
But it was the lack of teamwork. So I'm like, oh, okay, lack of teamwork. Anyway, have our drinks, etc., etc. Then they come round with food, right? So they go to the row in front because that's the first row of premium. Ask those guys what they want, get what they want. Come to my wife. What would you like? She's like, I'll have the beef, please. Get the beef. She takes the 4 thing off. I was also going to have the beef. And it was a steak. And it looked really good.
Nice.
So that's right. All right, I'll have the beef, please. And she said, oh, no, I'm really sorry. That's the last one. Okay. This is the second row of premium. Right?
Yeah, that's bad.
Oh, Ah, okay. Okay, I'll have the second thing on the dish, which is pasta. No, sorry, we've run out of that as well. I'm like, oh, what? This is the second row of premium. You've still got 8 rows or 6 rows after us, and you've run out. And she said, oh, yeah, we've only got the chicken left. And I looked at what the chicken was, and I have nothing against chicken. It just wasn't to my taste. And so,
yeah.
So she said, I'll give you the chicken for the minute. So, right. I said, can you go and get the cabin manager? So she said, okay, no problem. Anyway, I then uncover it, and it wasn't even anything that was on the menu. So on the menu, it said Swahili chicken. This was butter chicken, which I don't have a problem eating.
Of course, yeah.
But it wasn't my top choice.
Yeah.
So anyway, she then finished serving premium and then went to get the cabin manager. So I thought I better not eat anything before I start. And he came through and he's like, oh, I understand there's a problem. So I said, yeah. I said, with the second round premium and 2 of your 3 dishes have sold out. And he's like, well, we don't guarantee that what we have on the menu, that we have enough for everybody. I was like, but it's the second row of premium. So did you have enough chicken for everybody else? How does it work? And he's like, oh, I don't know. I said, well, it's your responsibility to make sure you're the cabin manager. The buck doesn't stop with your colleague. The buck stops with you. Do you have enough on board to cater for the length of that flight? Yes or no? And I said, what you've just said to me tells me you haven't even checked. So I said, that's the issue that I have. So he said, I'll find something in business. I'll get a business class meal for you. Okay. When he said a business class meal, it wasn't everything. It was just the main
the main
course.
bit. Yeah, the main bit.
So he came along about half an hour later with a pasta dish. And I have to say, if I'd have paid a business class fare and got that, because it looked like tinned ravioli out of a tin. It looked awful. It tasted okay, but it's not what I classify as a business class meal.
That comes to the point. I mean, sorry, go on.
Yeah. So they've run out of these 3 choices. And I think, as you've established when you flew to Joburg, the food that you get in premium is the same as economy, right?
Exactly.
And I don't get a problem. So you're telling me now that everybody behind me, including all of economy, is one item. And that's it. What I then discovered was they'd served economy first.
Exactly.
And then come to premium.
Exactly.
Now, it's not about status or anything else, because that sounds really pretentious. However, we have paid a premium price, therefore we should be served first. And
I agree. That's hence the policy thing.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
So, yeah.
No, it's not great. I mean, they do not, I've checked, guys, they do not sell, especially the food so premium economy with BA is clearly sold through the idea of having a better leg room and more width and a small amenity kit. Then they talk a little bit about having some snacks during the flight, but they do not really advertise the food. However, I agree with you. And guys, I know that some of you might have never flown in premium economy, or of course not even in business, and on economy, and you say, "Well, these rich people." It's not about that. I think it's easily fixable. They should start. This is what, by the way, this is what they've done with us when we were at the 380 on both legs. So the same situation. There's no galley between where I was sat. So between the premium economy and business, there's a curtain. And there's no galley either between us and behind. So basically, the food starts at the end. So they really make an effort to come to the front of premium economy to serve premium economy. And clearly, I said in the last episode that they forgot my wine. They then finish the entire economy, which 380 is pretty long, the upper deck, of course, they finished that before returning to us to remove the plates. So it's just about making the effort to start there. I will say that some airlines, and I don't know, I'm not sure if BA does it, but some airlines do, and I've noticed that in business class, I've noticed that in economy, because of this, the amount, they cannot take the 3 dishes, for instance, in your case, for every single passenger. So what they do is one time they start at the back, the time they start at the front. Of course, you might not be, it's just odds. It's just your odds. You can't be in the flight that always starts at the back, and you won't realize that sometimes it starts at the front. But in this case, I think it's just a bad, either they don't have a right policy or they didn't bother.
Yeah.
I prefer it's the first one because it means that it's fixable. I mean, the second one is also fixable. Meaning that they don't care would be a really bad look. I think they should have started with premium economy, guys, do not write us telling us like, oh, and us, but what about us premium economy? I think you pay more than double the price. I think it's fair that and again, I know BA doesn't advertise food as the item that you will get something excellent in different way or whatever, but I think it would be fair for people that pay more that they do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for the rest of the flight, the drinks trolley didn't come around again until we got our second meal an hour out of Nairobi.
Did you try going to the galley?
Yeah, you could go to the galley and get what you want. So they set up a little tuck shop with chocolate bars and
that's nice
things. Alcohol you had to ask for. So there was a person in the galley.
But they would give it out, right?
They give it to you, yeah. Nice. But and I don't, to be fair, I don't have a problem with that because it allows me to go and stretch my legs. Gives you a
I think it's fair.
Yeah.
I think it's fair as well.
That's absolutely fine. And then you get the second... I say second meal. Meal's probably an exaggeration, isn't it? So we got a hickledy pastry, which was either like a Cornish pasty, and then there was something else. I think it was a vegetarian option in a little box, and that was it. Okay. Which, to be fair, they tasted good.
Okay.
But that's what it is in long haul now. It'd be really interesting to see on an ultra long haul flight. So if you're doing a Singapore or Hong Kong, do you just still get that snack?
Yeah.
Or do you get something better? What did you get on Joburg's? Joburg's 11.5 hours.
We got a better second. I cannot remember now. But I would say, and one day I should invite someone to talk about this. Someone who's in the industry. I mean, there's the airline policy about what they want to give you because, of course, they're cutting costs. And we know that BA is famous for having suddenly decided, there's some kind of brunch. They didn't want to give breakfast anymore because they said they have these things where they create these weird rules because they basically want to carry less stuff. But here it's not on BA. I know for a fact, and it's been discussed over online, but I'm not a specialist, so I don't want to comment too far, that there are aircrafts that have more space in the galley. So, of course, it depends on the configuration the airline has chosen, but I know that some aircraft have less room to carry stuff, so there also some have to make a choice about what they offer. So I don't know about the 350. Was it a 900, the one you...
1,000.
1,000. I don't know exactly the situation. I don't know also the choice that BA made on their 1,000. Probably, at the end of the day, if you want to grab more seats, you have to sacrifice some galleys. Yeah. So maybe that's it. I'm not here pointing finger. I don't know. Maybe they didn't do it. Maybe it's just the 350 is like that. The 380 has a lot of room, but there's more passengers. So I don't know. I didn't feel, at least, to answer your question, I didn't feel I had like a lesser... It was more than what you had, but the flight was also longer. So
yours was nearly 3.5 hours longer than mine.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe there's that as well. I wouldn't be sure, to be honest.
Yeah. So the rest of the flight was fine. Arrive on time. I'll then talk about the return flight, and then I'll talk about the other flights that we did in Africa.
Yeah, mix it together. So we let it out on BA, and then we go move on.
Absolutely. So on the return flight, 350 again. Check-in was simple, straightforward. Getting through Nairobi Airport, easy. We booked a lounge because we obviously didn't have lounge access flying with premium. So we went on the Premium Plaza Lounge in Nairobi, which is actually the BA lounge.
Oh, okay.
Along with every other international airline.
Okay. Well,
so we paid, I think it was $90 for the two of us. Get to the lounge. It's really small. Really small.
Okay.
Space was a premium.
Were you able to sit somewhere?
We did get seats, to be fair.
Okay, good.
But there weren't many. And that time of night in Nairobi, all of the European flights go at that time of night. There was a KLM, Air France, Lufthansa, BA. Sure, yeah. And food choices, I think there were two choices there was a vegetarian curry and meat curry. And they were the hot dishes. And then you've got bits and pieces of other stuff.
Do you eat in lounges before taking a flight or not?
Yeah, we did. And the reason we did this time, and this is the reason that we booked the lounge actually, because our flight took off from Nairobi 11:15 at night. So basically we wanted to get on the plane and sleep.
Oh yeah.
8-hour flight coming back. So let's just sleep. So that's the reason we did it. Would I go to that lounge again if I was flying through Nairobi? Probably not. Because actually Nairobi, and that was the other thing, we didn't know what Nairobi airport departures would be like.
Yeah.
So we thought, let's be safe and book a lounge. There's plenty of places to go and eat.
Okay. Yeah, but you never know in advance.
No,
it's true.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's true. It's fair enough.
But actually, it wasn't a bad experience at all going through Nairobi International. So we get on the flight. Exactly the same seats coming back, 350. Takeoff on time departure again, all good. The hard product, again, great. Well, say great, good, not great. And then, anyway, so I think my wife fell asleep before we even took off.
Wow.
And we decided we were going to sleep. So that's fine. So I was still awake and I thought, right, I'll just make sure I've got, all bits and pieces. I've got some headphones just in case I can't sleep and watch a movie, yada, yada, yada. Look down, no headphones. And no amenity kit. It all comes in one bag, doesn't it? So cabin crew lady came down and said, "I'm really sorry." I said, "I've got the headphones." I said, "I'm not bothered about the amenity kit. Can I just have some headphones just in case I can't sleep?" And she went, "Yeah, I'm really sorry." She said, 4 of you in premium economy don't have one of those. They didn't load enough on.
What?
I'm like, "What?" And she went, "Yeah, we haven't got enough." Okay, can I have some from economy? And she went, "Oh, we've run out."
Yeah, they run out.
We've run out. I was like, "Any extra business that I could just use and give back?" No.
That's bad.
Great. So I thought, well, I've got my AirPods, but BA isn't set up to do Bluetooth. You've got to have
the cable. I had to buy the specific cable from AirPods. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
so I didn't have a cable. So, right, okay, sleep it is. My wife's now already fast asleep, and I'm sure it would have been fine that I could have helped myself to the earphones, but that's not the point.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah,
again, it's the soft product that we've paid for. But it was just, yeah, we haven't got enough. It wasn't, "I'm really sorry."
Yeah, and I think they should own it. I mean, it's not the fault, clearly, of that specific flight attendant.
No.
I don't know her. I'm probably never going to meet her, and she's probably a good person. Is that, you represent, at that moment of the interaction, you represent BA. And you're in premium economy. You're even in economy, man. This is even not to do about the fare class you're paying. It's something you can expect. And the fact that it's not like, they all broken down. It's like they didn't load enough.
So
it's
whether they were loaded on at Heathrow to then be distributed, they didn't load enough at Heathrow, or they didn't load enough on Nairobi.
Somebody didn't care.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's what it gives out.
Yeah,
somebody didn't give a S.
Yeah.
That's bad.
And actually, going back to the flight out, sorry, I
digress. Please.
So the cabin crew manager, when he said to me, his business class meal, said, I will log it. He said, I would urge you to write in. Because I said to him, I'm sick and tired of the deterioration of BA. And I think, and he said, so am I.
Okay, well, at least he's...
And he said, the only way we'll improve the airline is to feed back. So fair enough.
I agree.
But he's probably had 10 million complaints in however many years he's worked for BA, right? And I get the impression of there's no headphones. It's like, this is an everyday occurrence. Yeah. But these things for me, and this is my main frustration, right? BA used to be great. I want BA to be great. Yeah. They are our national airline. They go from my local airport, my 2 local airports. I want them to be good, right? They don't have to be amazing. I want them to be good, and they're not. And so the hard product, they've done the hard bit, the stuff that costs a lot of money, the aircraft and everything else, are fine. Some of them are a bit older, but they're replacing them.
But they're exactly.
But it's soft product that they need to look at. And the soft product can be easy to deal with. Yeah. It's, do they have enough food? Yes or no? Do they have enough headphones? Yes or no?
Yes.
They're easy things to fix.
You should work for BA, man.
Yeah. It's, the training. I've never seen what training they give cabin crew, whether it be 30 years ago or it is now. Has it changed? Is it?
I mean, sorry, no, I wasn't going to say no. It probably has.
But I suspect one piece has changed of admit nothing and just ask the customer to write in, and therefore you never see a person. There's no one that you can go and you don't want to do because I'd rather not complain. I'd rather get on the plane, get what I paid for, get off, feel rested, relaxed, and carry on my trip, whether that be business, whether it be leisure, etc. But it's not polished.
No, it's not.
I mean, it's not even a rough diamond. I mean, it's not there.
Well, it was a diamond, and now it's a diamond that's basically in muddy waters.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because if it had always been rubbish, you go, okay, that's just the way it is, right? A lot of airlines are like that. We know that they're not great. and a lot of them have failed because they're not great. But we know BA has been great, and something or a number of factors have changed. I think looking back to when they were great, we go back to the 1980s when Lord King and Colin Marshall managed it, right? And it was a premium airline. And I think one of the reasons it was a premium airline is they had a premium aircraft and they had Concorde.
Yeah, for sure.
Concorde was a premium thing. So everyone thinking, oh, wow, that airline has Concorde. Wow, amazing. So that went. I think they then had a number of economic challenges. So you had 9/11, you had bird flu, obviously you then
financial
had crisis, you had COVID. So they've had to make some changes. But the changes that they've made have just annoyed everybody. Because whenever you go, like, you know, my cousin is owns his own travel business, and he's the guy that booked all of this. And I said to him, you don't need to worry about flights because we're going to use compound voucher. He's like, okay. He said, oh, so you're flying BA? He's like, yeah. Yes, I never recommend BA to anybody.
Oh, that's bad. Wow.
Yeah. And other agents that we've used around the world, you're not flying BA, are you? Would you want to fly BA?
Oh, that's bad.
And no one recommends them. And that's a poor state of affairs to be in.
More than, yeah, it's very poor.
But it's easy fixes, you know. And I then wrote an email when I got back of the two experiences I've talked about, and outlined sort of my complaint. And the response I got, normally if I get a complaint into work about my team, I will respond answering those specific points. No reference to those points whatsoever. Oh, thanks for the feedback.
Admit nothing.
Yeah. Thanks for the feedback. We're always looking for feedback to improve our airline. Rest assured that we will take this on board.
It's a canned response, basically.
Yeah. And it's automated. Like, in other words, you don't give up flying hoop.
Yeah, which is bad.
Yeah. So that was my BA experience. I say it's annoying because I know they can be great. They used to be great, and I want them to be great, along with 60 million people that live in the UK and everyone else that uses them worldwide. But they're just not, and it shows. And I think what's starting to show as well and rub off is that the cabin crew obviously get a lot of criticism, and they get it day in, day out. And it's not fair that they should take it. They do need to say, right, they need to do more to appease the passenger, appease the customer. And they don't, but I think they just get moaned at all the time, and I just think no one above gives a flying hoot.
That's bad, and
I think that's my point. So I think let's leave the BA bashing there.
I don't think it's bashing. I think it's fair. For me, when so I haven't flown. Of course, my first flight with BA was not in 1978. Probably my first flight was Swiss Air and probably Lufthansa later on, and Finnair, but and Olympic, but. BA, I'll always remember the first flight I've done with them. I had never flown long haul with BA until I moved to the UK, right? I moved to the UK, in 2012, and early 2012, January 2012. Before that, I had never flown long haul BA. But the first flight, the two flights I remember were both in the 90s. My first two flights with BA were in the 90s. Going to London simply, to visit when London I still had that grid. I lost a bit since. And entering BA for me, even I was not an av geek back then. I loved flying like a kid does and a young adult did, but not like in this level that I'm now and you were interested and we read the news about it. I felt I didn't belong in British Airways when I entered, and I was flying economy. I was probably in some middle seat row in the back, and I felt this airline was so epic that I didn't belong there. What was I doing there? And that shows that even someone like me, of course, there's probably a lot of it is this imagery about the UK that a lot of foreigners have about, or at least had, James Bond and all these things. So it was like, I felt like really like, my God, this airline is the best in the world and I need to behave when I'm in this airline. Yeah. This is not the case anymore. Of course, like we said earlier, we are exposed to it. So all these shiny new things get less shiny over time, but it's not the same airline. I even remember, and as I said, the two flights. On my second occasion flying BA, I even bought, and I still have them to this day, cufflinks with the UK flag, the famous. I felt I was James Bond when I bought these cufflinks. It's not the same airline anymore. It's not, and it's also the airline. Sorry to keep going. It's also the airline that basically invented modern business class. Mm-hmm. It's the airline that it was not only a great airline, it was not only a great airline in terms of branding, it was an airline that was innovating, that was ahead of its game. It was the Emirates in the 80s and the 90s. It's not the longer the Emirates. And that's a bit sad. That's a bit sad, especially because it feels to me that a lot of the crew that I sometimes have interactions with feel a bit let down. And part of it is probably because, like you said, they're getting criticized a lot, so it's not always easy to handle all this criticism because it's not their fault. I'm not saying that all the crew is great. Some crew might be a little bit off, and you're like, oh my God, why am I dealing with this guy? I always remember flying, it was still a 747, Dubai to Heathrow 2017, I'm pretty sure. And I was in business class, and that crew didn't care at all about me or all the other passengers. So it happens, but it happens with every other airline, right? That you have somebody that is not great. But I feel that now, between being criticized by the public, whether it's on podcasts like this, on the media, we're not important, but on the media or in the press or on Twitter, wherever, on Facebook, and then also maybe feeling they don't have the support of their upper management. I mean, it must be a hell sometimes to, I don't know.
You have this triangle, don't you? So when you work in an organization, you have a triangle. So if you're a senior manager, you've got your senior manager, you've got your customers, you've got your workforce. If you're cabin crew, you've got your cabin crew, you've got your passengers, and then you've got your senior manager. And if one of those falls down, it still operates, right? If both fall down, you've got customers. So if you're the cabin crew and you've got the customer and you've got senior managers that don't give a hoot, you haven't got a hope in hell's chance, right? Why are you going to be motivated to then fulfill the customer's expectations? It's going to wear off. And I think the other thing that annoys me is, okay, so if BAs take this stance of we are not going to be in the world's top 10 anymore, because they're not, fine, not a problem. But get your price to reflect it. Your price doesn't reflect it.
That's true.
Yeah. So next October, we're looking to go to Australia, right? So we'll probably use a companion voucher, although I'm a bit, really, do I want to do BA for 24 hours? Oh. But we because the flights are not available yet, but I was just doing a price comparison if I wanted to fly in September that are available. So I looked at Emirates, and I looked at business, I looked at premium, I looked at economy. Economy is not going to happen because I'm not sitting in economy for 24 hours. No way. So I looked at Emirates, I looked at Qantas, I looked at Etihad, I looked at Qatar, I looked at Singapore, I've looked at Thai, Cathay Pacific, all the big boys out there. The price differential on the same date, I think, fell for each of the classes, fell within less than £100 from highest to lowest, and BA were in there. The one airline that was a lot cheaper was Thai. Mm-hmm. Now, I've flown with Thai. I talked about it in episode 137, and I thought they were really, really good for the price. Yep. Yeah. And we flew business with them. As an option, I would fly Thai again business. Yeah. Because they're not up there with the big boys, but their price reflects that. So you get what you pay for, right? But they're still very good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't pay if Emirates or Qatar or Qantas said, right, we are, I don't know, two business class returns with £10,000, and then BA come along and say, we're also £10,000. I'm going to choose the other two over BA. Yeah, because you get more for your buck, right? Yeah. So why, I say if BA had decided we're not going to compete with the top 10, fine. Lower your price a little bit.
I don't think it will happen. First, I mean, I the sentiment, I agree. But I think, at the end of the day, they probably have they have two things. They have loyalists. And when I say loyalist, do they have Stockholm syndrome? I think a lot of people fly BA out of habit. Mm-hmm. So, and I'm often surprised actually that people will not even try to look at EasyJet when you fly in a short haul. They say, no, as if all the others are bad and need to fly BA out of habit. And that happens. And it's only BA. It's just every brand has that. And also it's the fact that we're in Europe. I know we're not in the EU, but you know what I mean. We're in Europe, meaning that the markets are very segmental, the different segments, as in the US. There's also segment because, some airline will have a big footprint in one city, in one airport. So you'll have less choice. But here, if you live in England, in the UK, you fly BA. If you live in Paris, in France, you fly Air France, and you go on with Madrid in Iberia, and so on and so forth. And so that doesn't encourage, this, like who's gonna basically try to, really compete with BA. Yes, they have the low cost, especially on short haul, and they have Virgin on long haul, but Virgin is a much smaller airline and actually is a more expensive airline. So they're not even they're not pushing the price down, right? So I think, to your point, I agree with the sentiment. I don't think it will happen that the prices will reflect. I think they should really, they keep promising us this, but they've invested a lot in customer service and a lot in IT. I still have a lot of bugs in IT, man. Mm-hmm. It's long in the tooth telling us that it's going to be fixed. It's still not fixed. I still have issues every single time I go to the app. Every single time I get technical errors when I go on a website. So it means that,
all this heavy demand is a regular.
Right?
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah. Who's that? Amazon is, let's compare with Amazon. You have so many websites that are for similar importance. I never get heavy demand with Lufthansa, with Air France, with Emirates, with whoever. Never. Only BA do I get system error because we cannot handle all the requests. I'm like, what? So, but they promised last year, we're at the end of 2025, all these investments, let's see. But I agree that it's disappointing.
Yeah, it is.
It is disappointing, and it doesn't make me actually, to the point that because now I've downgraded since a year ago to silver, and I'll probably lose that as well. I might go to bronze next year when it's going to be March, April. I forget. I might not seek One World anymore. I've already not this year. I've already told what are the options? What's the best price? Yep. So I don't make the effort anymore to fly with BA. But to the point that I actually sometimes think I'm the effort of flying with Lufthansa or Swiss and back what I was doing before moving to the UK. And it's a bit sad for BA. And I'm not saying that, BA will not miss me. They don't care about me. If you guys from BA are listening, you don't have to take care of me. But it's general sentiment is a bit sad.
And you talk about people who've always flown BA. Those people that are very, very loyal fly BA all the time. And, they will have had gold, etc. I do wonder if they'll start to see a tail off of the changes to Executive Club. Will that drive people away? Because you're a prime example of that, right? You just talked about you're likely to lose. And they've just made it more difficult. So actually, is loyalty really important to BA? I don't know. Is loyalty important to airlines? I don't know. That's, these are rhetorical questions that we're not going to put right tonight. But it's a really interesting concept they're going through, and let's hope that what they say they're going to do materializes. Right?
No, I agree,
because I think there are so many choices out there. Flying around Europe, there's so many choices, but low cost, and I'll be honest, BA. I'd rather choose a low cost over BA. We've had this,
we'll talk maybe about, depending if you have the time, maybe not today, but we've done flights even together on EasyJet. I'm very happy with EasyJet.
Absolutely. Bring it on.
And with this EasyJet Plus thing, for you and me, we have either front row or emergency exit, so we have room, and I'm like, what else do I need? I basically have that almost guaranteed if I book early. But one final thing about BA, then I want to hear about Zanzibar. I think you're right. The issue that do they care about loyalty? I think a lot of airlines have moved on. They care about, big wallets, corporate money, basically, and I get that, that's where the money is coming from. This, the pre-selling ticket, whatever. I get that. Or wealthy people, and the above, upper middle class that can afford to fly enough with BA, so they will still get silver probably. If I were to fly all the flights I've done this year exclusively on BA, I would certainly be on in silver. But again, do I care enough about the quality of the product to do that? That's my issue. Is if it was that good, and I'm saying it doesn't have to be the quality of Singapore Airlines. If it was really good, I would say, you know what? Yeah, I get something out of me putting a little bit more money than on another airline for this trip, because then I can requalify in silver, as from you and me is important, because we can choose emergency exit seats in advance. Whereas, so these are kind of, but the final point I want to make, and then we move on, is that the risk for BA, because you mentioned loyalists, it just triggered that thought, is that you say it's a national airline. And we're clearly in a time where national airline, this concept has disappeared a bit because they're private, they belong to big groups. IAG is not even in the UK. So the sympathy from the public has a limit. And at some point, the defense of the public, the willingness to defend BA is getting long in the tooth, which means, and that they might not realize, at some point, because Heathrow is a private airport, do they need to give out all these slots to BA if somebody else wants to? For me, I understand the concept of national carrier because we need to have a national carrier to take us to places because if everybody else fails, we have our own carrier. I get that. We went through it with the whole Swiss Air failing and having Swiss, which now belongs to Lufthansa, blah, blah, blah. But I'm more thinking about the public is willing to defend BA, has been willing, to defend BA. That might disappear over time, and that is not good service to BA. So if BA doesn't care about loyalty, in the sense that they don't care about how people perceive them, at some point it might actually turn against them because there will be nobody left to defend them. And they'll say, you know what, if all these foreign airlines wants to take the slots at Heathrow, whenever the Heathrow expands in 2080 or something, nobody will be there to say, well, BA should get them.
The American guys will take over for transatlantic. Emirates are going to need more slots because when they lose the 380, when it comes, they're going to need to double up on what they've already got because they won't have such a large aircraft to take people backwards and forwards to Dubai. So yeah, you're right.
At some point, nobody will be there to defend BA. So to finish, let's hope that they turn this around. We'll probably both, and you said earlier, because you have the voucher, but we'll probably, because we live here, we're going to both be flying with them. I hope he turns a corner. But come on, let's move to your African adventures.
So we did. So day after we arrived in Nairobi, we had an overnight at an airport hotel. We went to Nairobi's second airport, Wilson International.
Okay. Oh, international. So
international, yeah.
Is it big?
No, not at all. It's small. It's a private. It's an airfield rather than an airport. I would suggest. But we pull up and it's quite close to the city centre.
Oh.
Pull up, it's chaos outside. I mean, there was not even anywhere to drop you off. So the guide that we had took us in, and we were joining a Safari Link flight. So Safari Link is one of the airlines that they take you out to the safari destinations.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
the clue's in the name, right? So they were very clear on the instructions that maximum weight of 15 kilos, all inclusive for all bags.
Oh, so you have, that's a limit.
That's a limit, right? So 15 kilos per person, that includes your hand luggage.
So that's a small aircraft, probably.
Small aircraft, right?
What did you do? Did you have only 15 kilos the whole way, or did you leave some stuff in Nairobi?
No, we left some stuff.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So we left some stuff in Nairobi for when we then flew back and then went on to Zanzibar.
Okay.
So 15 kilos max, no hard cases. Everything has to be soft bags because it has to squash down, right? So that's fine. So we check in, all good. Our guide came over to us because he checked us in. We didn't actually check in ourselves. I've never experienced this at an airport before. So he's like, can I just take your passports and I'll do the rest.
That's basically private flight.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. So it's
Biggon Hill here in London, that's what you'd get.
Exactly,
right?
Yeah. Biggin Hill is actually probably a good comparison with Wilson. Okay. So we sat there in a little departure lounge and I got a little coffee shop and a gift shop, plenty of seats, lots of very excited people. We're going on safari, and everyone's got those trousers that turn into shorts, those zip-off trousers. I had a pair on. So did everybody else, right? It's, everybody's in jungle gym attire. Yeah. So anyway, we sit there and a guide comes back over. So he said, here's the boarding card. So he said, it's meant to be a direct flight. It's not a direct flight. He said, you get one flight from here. You get off at the second stop and then you transfer to another aircraft.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so this aircraft you're going to fly on, stopping 3 times. Make sure you get off at the second stop.
You have to make sure.
Yeah, you have to make sure. Not the airline, you. Right?
That's good. Wow.
Fair enough. Fine. So he leaves us. We get called to the aircraft. So we flew on a Dash 8.
Oh.
So a 35-seater.
Do you like a Dash 8?
It's the first time I've flown on one. It was okay. It was all right. A friend of mine that's a pilot calls them a Crash 8, which just stuck in my mind, right? Yeah, I mean, Paul, the helicopter pilot.
Yeah. Did he tell you that before you flew or after?
Yeah.
Before?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Because he used to fly with Flybe quite a lot for his job. And he called them Crash 8s. I've never known one to crash, but hey, that's stuck in my mind. I'm like, oh.
I for some reason, I never truly enjoyed that aircraft. I don't know why. It's fine, but it's not my favorite.
Yeah. So we go out to the aircraft. They walk you across the apron because there's all these little aircraft, these little Cessnas that are all crammed in. And it's like a jigsaw puzzle when they move out. They've got to move one to get another one out because it's really quite congested. So anyway, we get to the Dash 8 and all the bags for that particular flight are on the tarmac, all lined up.
Yeah.
So there's a guy there. He's like, excuse me, can you identify your bag? I was like, yep, that's my bag. Okay. Can you take it over to the man in the hold and give it to him and tell him which stop you're getting off at?
Yeah.
So, yep, no problem. Pick up my bag, go over. Stop number 2, please. I was like, yeah, no problem. So we get on. We're right at the back. So doors at the front. Get on. It's 2x2, apart from the last row. And the last row is like the back seat of a bus. So it's 5 seats.
Yeah.
So you've got 2x2. But the one in the middle is the one where you can just stretch your legs right down there.
That's the first class seat.
First class seat.
I love that seat.
So I didn't have that.
Oh.
But anyway, the guy got on. He said, do you want to swap? So and that's a lovely thought. But I said, it's 40 minutes. It's not going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So he said, okay. Well, he said, well, if you change your mind, we'll swap. No problem. So anyway, we take off in this Dash 8. And the weird thing about the Dash 8, and I don't know if you've experienced this when you've flown on one, but as you take off, you watch the wheels disappear because the wheels are stuck into the engine and the wing slot thing. So it's weird watching the wheel go into the wing. Oh, wow. I've never seen that before. Never even thought about it. So anyway, we have our 40-minute flight. We get to one airstrip. A few people get off. We get to the second airstrip and we get off. So we get off, get our bag, and there's a little Cessna Caravan. Which is
nice.
Which then takes us to the next flight. The next flight is 10 minutes. So you take it over to them, and there's like underneath the aircraft, there is like I wouldn't call it the hold, I call it a compartment where they literally squash your bag in. So you get in, get on at the back. So it's a 12 passengers, 2 crew, 2 pilots.
Oh, so it's even, I think, because there's a Caravan and there's a Grand Caravan, because I think the Caravan is 9 seater, so maybe it's I've not seen it. But anyway, so anyway, cool? They look like some kind of like the term caravan is very appropriate for it, I think.
Yeah.
It really looks like it's a minibus.
Yeah.
A minivan.
So you get on it and you get on at the back, and I'm the last one to get on. The only seat is the one at the front.
Oh, nice.
And they are so cramped. I couldn't even get down the aisle. I mean, I'm a big guy, right? Couldn't squeeze. So I just said to a guy standing, because it was on one side of one seat and then the other side 2 seats. So the guy that was in the back row of the one, I said, do you mind it? Because he was quite small. Would you mind going down the front? I said, because I can't get down there. There's no chance. Right? And he's like, yeah, no problem. So, and actually everyone just budged forward.
That's nice.
So
that's nice.
10-minute flight. It was fine. The 2 pilots talk to you before they start up and tell you it's a 10-minute flight. Talk you through the safety procedures.
Oh, they do?
Oh, yeah, they talk you through it.
Of course, they have to.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was fine. So we take off. As we're coming into land at the airstrip that we were going to, you could see giraffes on the side of the runway.
Nice.
And it's like, oh, wow.
Yeah, wow.
And I thought, it'd be a landing strip with a fence. There's no fence.
There's no fence.
No fence. There is nothing.
Well, I mean, this is a bit what I've seen in as well in Namibia. So I guess it's just like, was it gravel?
Yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
brown gravel, brown dirt.
Yeah, exactly.
So you then pull up, get out, and then the drivers are there to take you to your relevant camps. So
that's nice.
It was very easy and straightforward. So we had 4 days on safari. The day that we left, we were due to depart at 11 o'clock, airline-wise. Back with Safari Link back to Nairobi. So the airline contacted our camp to say our plane was running 45 minutes late.
Nice.
Yeah. So they clearly do this all the time.
Yeah,
because
of course.
I could hear the conversation between the camp manager and the airline, and they even knew the camp manager's name. So
yeah, so they used to.
Yeah. So we just stayed at the camp. It was a 20-minute drive. So anyway, we drive back to the airfield, and we saw the plane come in, because you get there literally when it arrives. So what I hadn't noticed before when we arrived, coming into the airstrip, but I did see it when we were departing, was they have, like at some airports, they have like the yellow car that says "Follow me" to the pilot, and they follow the car to the gate. So at this airstrip, to keep it safe, they have a guy on a motorbike. And he's at the other end of the airstrip, and he starts riding down the runway as the plane's coming in. So he's ahead of the plane.
That's awesome.
And the idea is, I assume, that he will scare animals away if there's an animal.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And that was it. So there's this guy on a motorbike, no crash helmet, no high vis, nothing. It's just a guy on a motorbike.
That's so cool, man.
So literally, the plane pulls up, everyone gets off, we get on, and literally a 5-minute turnaround, and we're gone again. So back on the Cessna Caravan, but this time all the way back to Nairobi.
No stop.
No stop. So 45, 50-minute flight. So I'm in the back row again, sat next to my wife. I have never been ill on an aeroplane before.
Oh.
Wow, was it bumpy. Because you only fly about 3,000 feet in the Caravan. The Dash 8 goes up to about 16,000 feet, but this was like 3,000 feet. And it was bumpy as hell. It was hot. There was no air circulation. And I hadn't been particularly well in the safari camp. I had picked up a bug. So it was quite hot anyway. They gave us a bottle of water each, which was fine. But yeah, I literally had to, because the seats are like sitting on a bus, they're quite low down. So I literally had to lean forward and put my sort of elbows on the seat in front and put my head on it. And I was counting the seconds of how long this flight was left. And I'm like, horrible. We must be very close now. And I literally looked up and I could see the runway ahead, but I felt so ill.
Oh man.
I couldn't wait to get off. It was awful.
Oh man.
And then nothing against the airline or anything else.
It's just happenstance.
Wow.
Oh wow.
But I mean, I've flown on small aircraft before. You and I have both done the Maldives, and we've done the seaplanes, very similar size. But yeah, this was very uncomfortable.
Oh damn, sorry.
But I wasn't ill, thankfully, because there was no sick bag either. I'm like, that was one of the other thoughts going through my mind was, if I'm ill, where do I go?
Jump out a window.
But I couldn't get off that plane quick enough.
Oh,
anyway,
man.
we get off the plane. We'll get reunited with our other bag, and we then go to internationals in Wilson Airport, and we fly back on the Dash 8 to Zanzibar.
Okay.
So that was an hour and a half on a Dash 8, which was quite a long time for that.
To Zanzibar,
this time, yeah.
There's also Safari Link?
Yes, Safari Link again.
Okay.
Luckily, the plane was only not even half full, so everybody had
Good.
2 seats each. So that's quite nice. I was sat right at the front, and normally they reserve the front seat on Safari Link on the Dash 8 for flight engineers.
Yes.
They're not flight engineers. They're the guys that get the bags off. It's a baggage handler that sits there, and he was happy sitting on the back. So
you were in front.
I sat there, and it was fine.
You were a flight engineer for a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was your role.
Yeah.
I hope you had read the checklist and everything, so you knew what to do, right?
No. So flight to Zanzibar, so an hour and a half, very uneventful. They came around with a bottle of water. That was it. What more can you say? Land in Zanzibar Airport. Interesting.
Yeah, I think that's the name I'll give to this episode. ZNZ.
ZNZ, yeah. So we land. There's 2 terminals at Zanzibar. The part-time terminal, which is for big international airlines.
What do you mean the part-time terminal?
Yeah. So only 3 big international airlines fly to Zanzibar direct.
Oh, I see.
Air France.
Okay.
Turkish and Qatar.
So it's not open all the time. This is what you say by part-time.
Yeah.
I thought it was, again, some French thing where people just don't work. Oh, I see. Okay.
So that's for them. And then all of the other smaller airlines go to this other terminal. So again, there's flights from Zanzibar back to mainland Tanzania for safari. So lots of the Cessna Caravans.
Yeah, for those who don't know, I've never been to Zanzibar. It's an island. Yeah, I think for context, because people might not realize it's an island. Yeah, important.
So it's part of Tanzania, but it's a autonomous island,
self-governed as well, or something, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we get off the plane, get a little bus to the terminal, which must have been about 100 meters. I mean, just let us walk.
Exactly,
I mean, come on. It took longer to get on the bus. Go in, and with Tanzania, you have to purchase Tanzanian travel insurance.
Oh, so they do not recognize.
They recognise others, but I think it's a bit of an income thing.
Yeah.
So $40 each. You have to buy a Tanzanian travel insurance, so you get a PDF.
Do you do that whilst on arrival, or can you do that?
You can do it back home. So we did it all before we left. So literally walk into the terminal. First thing I want to see is you literally walk in the door is they want to see your piece of paper.
Did you pay, basically?
Yeah, did you pay? If not, you can go over there and there's a cash desk.
Yeah. You know what? Having said that, sorry to interrupt your story, it allows you to have a sip. Having said that, I don't know if it's still the case. Qatar was doing the same. So Qatar, they said, because of COVID. But then COVID was gone, and it was still like we have to go through their portal to buy health insurance, travel insurance, which is, I have mine like you have yours. I have even too many. I have two, I think. So so I'm saying it's not only Tanzania. So go on.
So go through. It's a country that requires visas for us from the UK. So we go through, and it was the visas were, we did them before we went. You had to print them out. It was like 8 pages per person. So looking through everything, stamp you, and on you go. Pick the bags up straight away, and out, and we were gone. We were gone to our resort. So
that was quick.
That was quick.
That was fine. Then.
Yeah,
okay.
No problem at all. So on the return. So when we left Zanzibar, we were going back to Nairobi International Airport, not Wilson, but the main international.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
And we were flying on Precision Air, Tanzania's #1 airline.
So the #1 airline, is that a tagline or is it the real? It
is their flag carrier.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a private business like most airlines are now, but it is their main airline.
Okay.
So anyway, on our drive from the airport to our hotel, our driver said to us, you have to be at the airport 3 hours before departure in Zanzibar.
Okay.
It's like, okay. So he's like, so arranged a pickup time to take us back to the airport. Like, Jesus, 3 hours really for a small plane? So anyway, we didn't have any alternative, right?
Exactly.
So on the way back, we get to the terminal 3 hours before. It was a scorching hot day. So driver drops us off. Walk into the terminal, into departures. We can see the Precision Air check-in desk.
I love that name.
Along with a number of other airlines, Safari Link. I think there was Air Tanzania was another one. So we join the queue. Walk in, scorching hot day. There's no air conditioning in the airport.
Oh dear.
It's fans.
But that's hold on. That's the other terminal?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not the part-time terminal. It's the
I love how you call it
the riffraff terminal. The riffraff. Yeah, where the plebs, yoiks, and the minions. You can go down there. So that's where we're at. So we go and join the queue, but it's scorching because there's just these fans going around and they're just circulating hot air, right? So check in. There were, I think, 2 or 3 Precision Air flights, predominantly to Dar es Salaam.
The capital of
Tanzania.
Yeah.
So anyway, we check in. Fairly painless, to be honest. Go through, get stamped out of the country, go into the departure lounge. Oh my God, the departure lounge, what a dump. What a dump. I mean, if we walked down to St George's Accident and Emergency Unit at the local hospital here, it would be more prestigious than Zanzibar's departure lounge. Really? Yeah, it was dump.
I've been to St George, guys. It's fine. It's a very good quality of care. But man, the quality of the actual, building is, well.
But anyway, just rows upon rows of really broken, uncared for seats. And
that's bad, man.
God. So it's like, by the time we checked in and got through, we had 2.5 hours till our flight. So what do we do? So we just sit there. So they had a little cafe that you could get some food. It didn't look particularly good. They had a gift shop that you could buy cans of Coke and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Oh wow.
Again, some fans blowing hot air. The only cool air was every time they opened a door onto the apron, you got a bit of a breeze, but it was rough as. So Precision Air. So 2 weeks before we travelled out, my cousin, the travel agent, sent us this email saying, this has come to me from the Civil Aviation Authority. I need to send it to you. It's an advisory notice. However, if you wish to make an alternative booking, you can do so.
So what does the notice say?
So the notice is from the Civil Aviation Authority to all passengers flying on any Tanzanian airline. The CAA doesn't allow Tanzanian airlines of any description to fly in the UK. Neither does the EU because of safety issues.
Yes, I know. But I didn't know that. I didn't realize your cousin.
Yeah, got this letter. So,
wow.
He said to me, he's like, if you want to change your flight, not a problem. So it's like, okay. So I had a quick squiz, and it's like, okay, well, maybe Kenya Airlines fly from Zanzibar to Nairobi.
Yeah.
Which they do. So they have 8 flights a day. So brilliant. We just change it to Kenya Airlines. They don't fly. They code share with Precision Air.
So I do think my memory might be wrong, and people can correct us by you go on Spotify if you want to comment, or YouTube, or you send me messages. I think Kenya Airways even owns part of Precision Air up to maybe half or 40%. So
really?
yeah. So it's like so basically it was unescapable. You had to fly Precision Air. You had no choice. That was your destiny, Paolo.
And then after that letter, I was a bit like, oh no, really. It plays on your mind a little bit, right? Anything. So I'm thinking, okay, is there anything serious that's happened? So I'm kind of searching, Google and social media, and there's nothing bad that's happened with Precision Air. They haven't had 10,000 crashes this year or anything like that. There's a lot. I think
there were more maintenance lapses.
Yeah.
I think that's general consensus. Yeah.
Go onto TripAdvisor, everyone slates them.
Okay.
Predominantly because they're late all the time.
well, okay, fair enough.
Which is fine.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, it's what it is, but that's who we're flying with, right? So anyway, looking on Flight Radar that afternoon, where is our plane? Is it going to be delayed, etc.? No data available.
Okay.
And you look, when you look on Flight Radar, you can see the previous 2 weeks worth of stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
80% of it, no data available.
Do they not put the transporter on or something?
I have no idea. I've never come across this before. So it's like, Jesus Christ. Anyway, it then gets to about half an hour before departure time, and thinking, okay, the plane will be here relatively soon. We know it's going to be an ATR 72.
Yeah.
Right. So it doesn't take that long to turn it around. Should be here soon. Nothing. Gets to departure time. Haven't seen the plane come in. It's not on the ground. Can see the whole apron. Nothing. So there is one.
Where's my plane?
Yeah, absolutely. And for this particular terminal, the riffraff terminal, there is one gate for everything.
There's only one gate.
Yeah, there's one door out to the apron. So every 5 minutes, people are going out, and I'm thinking, but the tannoy doesn't work. You can't really hear anything. The screen above the door doesn't relate to the flight they're shouting out, and oh Jesus.
Oh my man, that's an experience.
Yeah, it was an experience.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just looking for this plane, right? Can't see anything on Flight Radar.
And you cannot see it physically.
Can't see outside, so it's like it's not here.
You can't. There's no windows.
There's windows. You can just see. I could see out. I couldn't see the plane.
Okay. I thought
knew it
you were
wasn't there. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
So okay. So I went over and spoke to one of the handlers, and I said, the flight to Nairobi, is it running late? And she went, yeah, it's running late. Okay. Any details? So we don't know how late. And she's like, so anyway, we just sat there. And there were quite a few people. And there was another Precision Air to Nairobi about an hour and a half after ours.
Okay.
So anyway, I kept going backwards and forwards to the window. I haven't seen this plane come in. And then I think it was about an hour after probably about 50 minutes after our
estimated departure time, yeah.
I went back and spoke to another person, and he said, oh, it's just taking off from Dar es Salaam now. So it's about half an hour away.
Okay.
So it's like, okay, it's going to be an hour and 20 minutes, hour and a half late. It's like, yeah, thereabouts. But he said it has taken off. So he said it's on its way. Hopefully. By which time it then got dark, and the airfield isn't particularly well lit, so I couldn't see anything coming or going. So anyway, eventually they say it's ready. So I haven't seen this plane rock up. Anyway, we get called out, we get bussed down, and it's parked right at the other end of the airfield next to the part-time terminal.
Yeah.
So anyway, as we're going along, I was like, is there anything else interesting out there? And there was this huge 757 parked up. So the 400, I think that's the longest one, isn't it? Owned by Abercrombie & Kent, which is a safari company.
Yeah.
A very exclusive safari company. But they have their own 757.
Oh, nice.
And it's all painted with animals on it and everything else. Nice. So I was really interested to see sort of, where do they go? I can't find anything. There's, look on airline fleets and planespotters.com. There's nothing about them. So I don't know where it was going. Anyway, we get on our plane. ATR 72, really cramped.
Okay. Really
cramped. There's more than 72 seats. I think there was 76. So we were in, I think, a row about 14. So obviously you get onto the back, go to getting our seats, and the couple in front are reclining. So I said, I'm really sorry, can you just put your seat up so we can get in the seat? He went, they're broken. I was like, oh
my God.
So I squeezed myself in, and it was cramped.
Oh God. How long would be the flight for?
Hour and a half.
Oh shit. Okay.
I was like, oh wow. So anyway, get on a flight. It's like squeeze myself in. We take off quite quickly. No apology for the delay. No, nothing. They just said it was going to be an hour and a half. And it's like, wow. So anyway, directly we take off. I think, right, okay, I'll recline. So at least it gives me a little bit more room. The little button that you press was missing. It was just a hole in the armchair.
Oh dear.
So we get to Nairobi. Hour and a half later, we land. I mean, they came round. They did have an alcohol trolley. You could get wine and juice and stuff. But yeah, that was it. But we got off. I wouldn't fly Precision Air again. No. After the CAA stuff, it plants a seed in your mind, and that starts to grow, right? And then the lateness and the broken seats, and you're like, right, okay, if the seat's broken, what else might be broken elsewhere on the aircraft? And there was the air things didn't work either. So
the air vents didn't work.
Didn't work. Yeah.
I mean, it seems from what you said earlier that there's not a lot of choice, though.
No.
You have to fly Precision Air. I love the name Precision Air.
Yeah. So it kind of got me thinking about kind of little taglines you could use for airlines, right? And so just going back to BA for a minute. So my tagline for BA right now would be never fails to disappoint.
Oh, ouch. Okay.
Yep. That's my tagline for BA. My tagline for Precision Air, there's nothing precise about Precision Air. That's my marketing. I mean, I did a marketing degree, right? I've never used it, but I did a marketing degree, and my marketing stuff is coming back. I'm wasted. I can tell, right? But yeah, Precision Air. Wow. But yeah, you read the TripAdvisor reviews, and I always take TripAdvisor with a bit of a pinch of salt because when I did, I think I talked about this on episode 137, but we flew with Cambodian Angkor Air in Cambodia, and they got absolutely slated. And again, they were an ATR 72
They were fine, right?
And they were absolutely fine.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, old, but
but that's different. Fine. Like it's there's one thing about the appearance of an aircraft or the perceived age of an aircraft or even the crew or whatever, and then the actual safety and the service and whatever. I'm fine with that. No.
Yeah.
Precision. Nothing precise over Precision Air.
Nothing precise.
I will try to. But it seems that there's not a lot of options.
Because Zanzibar was amazing. As an island,
I think I've never been. I've heard many friends. My better half has been as well. Actually, I don't even remember now if she has. Because she used to work in Tanzania. She might not have. She might have. It doesn't matter. The point is,
but for holiday, really worth going. So it's like it got me thinking. Okay, so if we were to come again,
Qatar Airways.
So we when we arrived in Zanzibar, we saw the Qatar Airways flight, and that was an A320. Air France fly down with an A350 from Paris.
Yeah, because there's a longer
route. But on the way back, so they have a very short turnaround time in Zanzibar. But on the way back, they stop at Kilimanjaro.
Oh, wow.
And they're on the ground for 3 hours. So it's a bit of a long flight back because of that.
Unless you do the Kilimanjaro, you add it up.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Turkish Airways or Turkish Airlines, their departure is at 4:30 in the morning.
Oh, that's not great.
That's not great time.
Not great. And you still have to pay. I mean, you don't have to, but it's still nice. You want to pay the extra time at the room because you want to be able to shower before you go. So you have to pay the night, even though you'll be at the airport at 1 a.m.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's always the thing that I hate about these flights at 4 or whatever. So you're like, what do? Do I pay the night?
Yeah.
Or do I then have to leave at, let's say, noon?
Am I homeless for 18 hours?
Especially in the hot country, you might want to take a shower. I mean, if there's sometimes, they will let you, or they have like a swimming pool or whatever. It doesn't matter. But I would. 320 in Qatar is not too bad. France, but then 3 hours, I don't know what I would have done. Maybe I will try Precision Air just to see how bad it is. I've heard though, because you said Zanzibar, I've heard that, so there's two, you said part-time
terminal,
that looked brand new, no?
Yeah. Looks really
so
nice.
that's the one, because I remember reading, there's one that has been, and that's probably the one that has been built by the Chinese, but has been like long time coming. It was delayed, not only because of COVID, but also because it just like took forever. Yeah. That is supposed to be the new terminal, but apparently, as you're telling me, it's the part-time terminal. There's the original terminal, which is the one you want, and there is apparently, and I don't know because I should have asked you before you go to look out for it, there's another terminal that was built when the island was a British protectorate. So I don't know if it's closed. I don't know. Guys, if somebody is from Zanzibar or travels there a lot, are there really 3 terminals, one of them being closed, or am I wrong? I do not know. And if you're from Precision Air, and if you're still alive, let us know in the comments, I guess. So then you went back to Nairobi?
So we had a night in Nairobi.
To ensure you had time for the connection.
So the following day we had a day in one of the really nice neighbourhoods of Nairobi, which was amazing. And then fly back BA.
How was, I've never been to Nairobi Airport either, without, maybe if you want to go details, you can.
Yeah, so I say Nairobi Airport isn't the best in the world, but it's certainly not the worst. Okay. So when we arrived from London, parked up, air bridge comes to the plane, we get off, but you literally step onto the air bridge and then go on the stairs down onto the tarmac.
Okay.
So you then get on a bus. Bus took us way, way, way down the airfield to a marquee. And that's where you do all your immigration. So you stand in this marquee, they check all your visas, and then you go into the baggage hall. The baggage, the time it took the bags to get to the belt was ages. Okay. Probably about 50 minutes, an hour after getting off the flight. So that's quite a long time.
Long, yeah.
Coming back out, so when we flew home, check-in was really slick. We were straight to BA premium desk, no queue at all.
Nice.
Through security really quickly. And I say there's lots of pubs and restaurants and pizzerias in the terminal. So actually, if you don't want to use a lounge, there's more than enough. Okay. I wouldn't suggest you spend days there, but there's more there than I thought there would be. Okay. And it seemed absolutely fine. But Nairobi is a hub for Kenya Airways, but also there's a lot of traffic in and out.
Yeah, because it's probably the most popular destination for safaris.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would say. I don't know. I don't have the numbers or whatever, but I would assume from most of my friends who've been to a safari, they've been to Kenya.
Yeah.
That's why. And a few in South Africa. Yeah.
I mean, the one big thing that surprised me about Kenya and Tanzania was, I don't know why it surprised me because they travel a lot, but the sheer amount of Americans, thousands of American tourists.
Probably maybe their direct flights as well.
One.
Oh, wow.
So to Kenya, it's only Kenya Airways fly from New York to Nairobi.
Okay.
That's it. There's no. So we got talking to them. How did you travel?
Yeah.
And a lot of them did some very convoluted routes. Frankfurt and Paris seem to be the hubs.
We
of
had
choice.
the same in Namibia. Not a lot of Americans, but for the Americans that we've met, they had also very, very convoluted routes to come. So meaning, to your point, it was an effort for them to come. It's not like, let's take a direct +1. It's like 3 different flights through like a bizarre route to get there. Yeah.
But the sheer amount, where I was going to with this was the sheer amount of Americans that visit Kenya. I'm really surprised that the likes of American Delta or United haven't picked up on this and gone, do you know what? We might try that as a route. It might be,
seasonal or...
Yeah, seasonal or, they only fly from New York or they only fly from wherever. And you have to then interconnect in the States. But it just seems they're missing a trick.
Maybe they are. Maybe they used to before. That's always a thing that the before COVID times and after COVID times, some airlines, never took back some of the there's also like the lack of aircrafts because the 777X is still not here. Not that they would fly the 777X there, but they have to.
Yeah.
And I've heard that, especially United and Delta as well. United is opening new routes. I have not checked, guys, so I don't know. Maybe actually it's on the books for some of these airlines. Before we move to talk a little bit about premium economy, because you have an experience I want you to share. Did you not mention that you've seen the same airline that I've seen, or maybe you've heard about, I don't know, the same airline I've seen in in Namibia, Discover.
Yes. So I'd never heard of these guys. But when we were in Zanzibar, we got chatting to a German couple, and they were there the entire time we were at the hotel. And we said to them, "Oh, how did you fly down Lufthansa or whatever?" And he said, "Oh, no. He said, we flew with Discover Airlines." I was like, "Oh, okay. What are they like?" And he said they were rubbish. He said they were really poor. And he said that particular day they did a daily flight from. Oh, actually, they must go through the posh terminal at Zanzibar as well, because they fly direct to Zanzibar. Yeah. But he said the day we were talking to him, he said, "Yeah, they just cancelled the flight."
Just cancel the flight.
Yeah. So he said, that's 300 people on a flight they've got to find, and it's only a daily. I think they fly 3 times a week. So it's like, how do they get those people home? But he said they weren't. He said it was their first and only time they would fly with them.
Wow. Yeah.
I didn't realize, because I'd not heard of them, and then I was sort of reading about them.
It's kind of
they're Lufthansa's charter airline, aren't they?
Yeah, because it's weird, because they used to be basically called Discover Eurowings or Discovery Eurowings or something like that. But after COVID, during COVID, Eurowings really got scaled way back. And I think Discover now, like you said, is there kind of more long haul, though they go to Palma, charter. Leisure. Yeah. Leisure more than charter would be because you see it's regular scheduled routes. And Eurowings mainly does short haul now. Whereas before COVID, I remember Eurowings, they were really pushing it to become this, also long haul, low cost. It seems like Eurowings is now almost hidden, and they rebranded. They removed the Eurowings name off Discover. It's only Discover now, and then they also do, like I said, a few. I think they will go Cyprus maybe, or the famous summer spots, the seasonal Palma de Mallorca and a few others, and then they will do Barbados and like you just mentioned, Tanzania. They were coming to Namibia, so they probably have this kind of network, but it doesn't seem that they do every day. Like the same when I was in Namibia, the aircraft that I saw landing from Discover, the 330. Had just been to Palma 2 days before. So it seems that it's never a daily thing. So if your flight is cancelled, you need to wait a few more days to have something to replace it. And apparently it's there's a premium economy. So I don't know. Okay. But the normal economy is pretty cramped. That's what I've been hearing. Okay, yeah. I wouldn't know more because I would probably not go to Frankfurt to fly it, but yeah. So you've seen it as well. So yeah, good. So premium economy, because you've flown another premium economy that I really want to hear about, because I've never flown it, although I've flown this airline so many times. Tell us, was it a Sri Lanka flight?
Yeah, so we went to Sri Lanka in March, and we flew with Emirates. Nice. So we booked premium economy, a really, really good price down to Sri Lanka. So the story that sits behind this, so we were due to go to Sri Lanka for 2 weeks. The day that we were due to fly out to Sri Lanka was the day that Heathrow got closed because of that electrical fire.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were texting me. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Oh, God.
So anyway, we booked our flights well in advance, as we always do. So we booked premium economy, so 380 down to Dubai, and then the next flight, Dubai down to Colombo. What I didn't realise was, when we booked it, that it was on the new A350.
Nice.
The new Emirates A350. So okay, brilliant. Never been on an A350, something new.
You had never been before?
Never been on a 350 before. So not only is it a 350 adventure for me, but also a brand spanking new airplane.
And a brand spanking new premium economy as well.
Yeah,
Holy
absolutely.
man, wow.
It's like, wow, this is going to be great.
I've never, by the way, I will put it out there, I still haven't done the 350 on Emirates. So wow, I want to learn about it.
So anyway, so we did all of that. And then I think it was about 2 weeks before we were due to depart, we got an email from Emirates saying, unfortunately, the Dubai Colombo leg, there's an aircraft change. No premium economy is available. So it's like, okay, it's going to a 777.
Okay.
But as a result, we will upgrade you to business.
Oh, no, wait, that's amazing.
And it's like, okay, fine.
Not a lot of airlines would do that.
No.
Not a lot of airlines.
So it's like, okay, brilliant. So anyway, on the day we were due to depart, we wake up really early in the morning. We had a late flight out of Heathrow. And we both my wife and I woke up about 5:30. My wife's looking at BBC News and she's like, Heathrow's closed. I mean, what what do you mean Heathrow's closed? She went, Heathrow's closed. I'm like, am I still asleep and this is a dream? Or is it April Fool's Day? What is this? And she said, no, it's closed. There's a fire. So what? The airport's on fire? And she went, oh, some power station nearby. Anyway, it all transcended into our flight got cancelled.
Yeah, like a lot of other flights that day,
So we contacted Emirates fairly early on, and they said, look, we're really sorry, but we can't get you out to Colombo for 3 days.
Oh, shit. How long was it supposed to be the full holidays for?
2 weeks. So we lost 3
days. 3
days.
days out of 2 weeks. Did you just, it's a minutia here, a detail. Did you contact Emirates as soon as you've seen that the airport is closed, or did you wait for them? Which order?
So we saw the airport was closed, but we thought, okay, it's closed now, but we're flying at 10:30 that night, so it might then go.
Oh, of course, we opened like that.
But then an hour later, we got an email saying our flight had been cancelled.
From Emirates directly. Okay.
Please contact us. So we phoned them straight away at 6:30 in the morning. And they said, look, we can't get it. Now, I didn't test this at the time, but I suspect that they couldn't get us out for 3 days because we were on premium. And obviously, premium economy is quite small. I think if we'd have flown business or economy, I reckon they probably would have got us out.
Maybe, but I'm not even sure because all their flights are full.
Yeah. London.
Because they fly from Gatwick as well, but they all full. So maybe it's just that they didn't have any room.
So anyway,
but although you're right, they might not be if enough to have been in business plus maybe Emirates Skyward Gold, you will be prioritized for rebooking, and they will have found. But maybe even if you're in business, because the business in 380 is so big, you might have still not flown that day. But anyway,
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
The guy's like, is that okay? And it's like, yep, no problem. So we took it. So and then I'm like, oh. He hasn't said anything about the business class upgrade.
Oh yeah, the second flight.
Yeah, second flight. Yes. So anyway, he sent us confirmation through, and all of our the Emirates app had all been updated with our flights. We're still flying business class.
Nice.
On the second flight. Okay, fine. Didn't say what we were flying on. It didn't say it was a 777. Didn't say it was 350 or anything. And I then put it into flight radar the day before we were due to fly off. And it still didn't have the aircraft details. It said aircraft unknown. So it's like, okay, well, whatever. We're flying business class, right?
But that's. I just want to mention. This is nice.
Yeah,
I really.
This is custom. This is what BA should be aspiring to.
There's not a lot of airlines that would not only have said, okay, there's no more premium economy because a cabin doesn't exist in the aircraft. We'll put you in business, but then to keep doing that over like a cancellation, whereas it was kind of a gift upgrade, because it could have put you in economy, it would have been fine. Yeah. You might have been a bit pissed. Maybe they would have given you some air miles or some reimbursement because of fare difference. But I mean, come on. How you cannot not like Emirates after hearing this?
It's delighting the customer.
Exactly.
Right? That's 100%. What it is.
Exactly.
And BA, if you're listening, this is how you do it.
Exactly. Yeah? I agree.
So we then go on holiday. So we check in, et cetera, in T3. Everything's fine. Get on the plane. We've got... we're on the right-hand side of premium. So it's 242 on the 380. Okay. And we've got the 2 seats. So really nice. Seats, plush leather, very nice. Very, very Emirates, right?
Are they comfortable?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, very. Nice. Again, they have that stupid metal footrest thing that doesn't work for me, but it's a bugbear of mine.
I think this metal thing, this foot hold, whatever, is made for shorter people than us, basically, because for us it makes no sense whatsoever.
It's discrimination of tall people. That's what it is. It's discrimination. Anyway, we get on, and it's lovely, and it's the windows have got that walnut effect around the windows, and it all looks very posh. Wow. And it was really nice. Right?
Legroom, good.
Legroom, good. Yeah, probably 1 or 2 inches longer than BA.
Okay.
So I think it was 40 inches.
Okay.
So really good, really comfortable. Cabin crew come along. So the lady we had was French for the London Dubai leg. Mm-hmm. Introduced herself by name. She said, "I'll be looking after you for the entire flight. Anything you need, just ask me." So, it felt more business than
I was about to say.
Yeah, it felt more business. And actually, if you take it back to the days of lie flat seats, that would have been a business class.
I agree.
Yeah, and that's the difference, right? So it was lovely. So anyway, she comes around with the drinks trolley, nice choice of drinks and champagne and everything else. In fact, I'm sure we got champagne prior to takeoff.
Emirates does that, and I'm pretty sure. I mean, they do that. Sorry, they do that in business class, and I'm pretty sure they would do it.
Premium.
Yeah, because stuff we said before. I think we hinted at before, and we'll talk a little bit after your description here. I think some airlines is business minus, and some airlines is economy plus. This is clearly a business minus. Yeah.
So good choice of drinks, an extensive wine list.
That's nice. So they really like a business class, man.
Business class. Anyway, it comes to dinner time, and again, the menus come out, etc., come along. There is no faffing around with, no, sorry, we've run out of that. They had everything, right? So they come along, tablecloth onto your table.
Oh, I see. China?
Yeah. China plates.
There you go.
Whole
see?
Shumac. And even, they serve it up and, take it all off and etc. And they turn the plates.
Yeah.
So it is like a 5-star restaurant. Where they present it.
Class. So probably what they've done here, I'm just like making things up maybe, but they clearly have replicated, because I experienced that in business class with Emirates. So they basically tell the crew the gestures, the presentation you do at business class, you replicate it for premium, it's amazing, man.
Yep. So, and we had 2 meals, London to Dubai. So we had a dinner. It was a 10:30 flight at night. And then we had breakfast before landing in Dubai.
Yeah, nice.
So really, really good. There was no negatives. It was really, really good.
I want to fly it now. I'm going, maybe it's not guaranteed. As you know, every February I go. Now that you've told me that, I'm like, maybe I'll try it.
So then we get to Dubai. We've got a 2-hour connection. So we walk to we knew the departure gate of our next flight. We get there, walking along. Get to the gate, and there's a 350 sitting there.
Oh.
Yep. So it's like,
nice.
Okay. We've got business class seat. I was like, okay, are they now going to downgrade us? And we got on the plane. No downgrade. We got shown to our seats.
Good.
It was a second day in service of the A350. It was their second one in service, and it was the second day of that flying.
Oh, it smelled fresh.
It was like a brand new car. When you get a new car right from a showroom, it was like that. And anyway, the cabin crew lady came down. Her name was Jane, Irish lady, lovely, really, really nice.
Amazing.
So she came down and she introduced herself and what have you. So she said, so welcome on board our new A350. Have you ever flown on one of these before? So I was like, no. She went, well, no, neither have I. That was our opening gabby. It's like, I'm going to get on with you because you've got a very similar sense of humour to me. And
I know that.
And the business class, I mean, it was epic. Yeah. I didn't pay for it. So
had you ever flown business class with Emirates before?
No,
or never? Oh, wow.
No, so brand new adventure for me.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Both premium and business. I'd never flown with Emirates.
I still remember my first business class with Emirates, so I completely can understand what you felt.
Yeah. So it was amazing. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh, man, it's only a 4-hour flight. Wouldn't it be a shame if it became longer? And my dream came true.
What?
Yeah. So we pushed back. Pilot did all these, welcome bit, 4-hour flight down to Colombo. So we pushed back, tug pushes us back, sitting on a taxiway, waiting to go. And we just sat there for ages and didn't move. I was like, what's going on here? And then he came on the tannoy and he said, I'm really sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but we need to go back to the terminal. We've got a technical problem and there's a switch that's not working in the cockpit. So he said, we need to get he said, the engineers are already at the gate. We're going to pull back up and see what the deal is. Yeah. So he said, but we'll keep you on board. So
you can stay on board.
Stay on board. So pull up. Engineers are on straight away. Really, really, really slick. 5-10 minutes later, he came back on the tannoy and said, look, we need to replace the switch. So he said, basically, one of the guys is going to go over to engineering, get a switch, come back, fit it, job done. Good. He said, however, it takes quite a long time to get over to the hangars because it's right the other side of the airfield at Dubai. Back, he said, so I estimate we're going to be on the ground for 2 hours. He said, but we're not going to get you off. So if I was in economy right now, I'd be like, oh.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're getting.
I'm not in economy. And it's like, suddenly, wow, I've now got a 6-hour flight. Right, let's put the flatbeds down. So to put the flatbeds down, we had a little sleep for 2 hours at Dubai Airport.
Did you sleep, actually?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We slept.
Do you know if they were serving stuff? Well, yeah,
they were coming around with drinks all the time, snacks.
It's amazing.
And they came around with afternoon tea, a bit like at the Ritz. We know those little 3-tier plates and put them at the back and you could help yourself to cakes and stuff. So it was amazing. So we had a 2-hour sleep. He then came on Tansoba ready to go. So if you are in business, we need to put they didn't put bedding down.
Yeah, of course,
but they just allowed you to recline. So a little sleep, and then took off. Had a really nice meal, really, really, really good. And then I had another sleep. And then we came into Colombo, and because the plane had never been to Colombo before, the fire service were there. So we went through the arch of the water.
The water cannons.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It was amazing.
Oh,
and
my
then we
God.
got off, and the film crews are there and everything else. We weren't interviewed, but lots of people were stopped, and it was on the Sri Lankan news channel, and they made a big thing of this.
But you know what? I like it. Sorry to interrupt your story, but I like that it would be on a news channel, that it still matters to people. There's a new aircraft that the 350 arrived. There's water cannons. We know it happens, but usually it's not really broadcast, right?
Yeah.
I love it, man.
But
that you were in there as well.
But we pulled up to the gate right next door to a Qatar Airways A350.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was its first day or that had been doing it for weeks and months.
No, Qatar has been having 350s for much longer. Yeah.
So but amazing flight, business class. Out of this world.
Yeah, wow.
I mean, the TV is bigger than a TV I have in my living room at home. All right, and it was just
great.
It's really
and
awesome.
you've flown, because I haven't. You've flown the new business, because this is the new business class that they would have everywhere. Yeah. It's the latest, obviously. It's very similar to the old one, but more refurbished, more refined, and apparently it's gorgeous. And I'm very jealous. So I'm glad for you. I'm really happy.
You have a little fridge.
Yes, I
with
know.
Sparkling water and some cans of Coke and
Sprite and
Sprite. So you've got that there. You don't even need to ring anybody. And the detail was awesome.
I know. That's why when you fly that, then you're a bit like some of the others. Like, I know it's hard to go back to fly. Anyway,
and then so flying back.
Was it also a 350?
350 coming back home. Yep. So,
but from Colombo to
Dubai. Yeah.
Okay.
So we got the day of departure to come home. We get an email from Emirates saying, unfortunately, your flight is being delayed by 3 hours due to operational reasons. So okay. So we spoke to our driver, got picked up later. So when we get to on our way to Colombo Airport, the traffic was horrific. And our driver's like, I know why you're delayed. He said, I've forgotten about this. He said, President Modi from India is flying into Sri Lanka this evening. And they shut the airport.
I was about to say.
Shut the airport.
Probably hurt. Oh, my God.
Closed all the roads to the airport. So it was chaos. Anyway, we checked in and everything was fine. Got on the 350. But subsequently, because of the delay leaving Colombo, we missed our connection in Dubai.
Oh.
Which was known that we were going to miss it because we were late departure.
So what happened there?
So Emirates put us on the next available flight, which was the next flight, but it was 4 hours later, I think.
But with premium economy, you don't have access to lounge.
No,
right? You can pay for it. They're pretty expensive, actually. But so you usually, Dubai Airport has so many things to do. So you just went to.
Well, we just found some of those lounger seats that you can put your feet up. I fell asleep for a couple of hours.
Oh, nice.
But anyway, back to the 350. So we're on premium coming back this time. The premium and economy in Emirates 350 is only 24 seats. So it's 3 rows. That's it. It's quite small.
Oh, wow.
So it's quite small, but again, really comfortable. Same standard as a 380, comfortable seats, decent food service, come around with a plate and everything. So again, it's exactly the same
consistency in the product, just that it's a smaller cabin.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
So the gap between BA's premium and to Emirates is gargantuan.
It is. It is. I've not flown Emirates in premium economy, but it is.
But I guess it's that thing, isn't it? So we're frequent flyers, right? So we choose different airlines. We can compare and contrast, and we know who's really good. We know who's good, who's not brilliant, and who we just wouldn't fly with ever again. If you're a passenger that does, one holiday in a blue moon, and you book to go on BA, you wouldn't think the issues that I've raised today were so catastrophic. But because we know what other airlines do, you compare and contrast, right? And then you go, okay, it's not great.
Yeah, and also because you fly more often, so it's not, so for some people, flying on a long haul itself, not even mentioning flying in premium economy, is maybe not on a once in a lifetime, it's a once in 5, 6 years, or, that you want to treat yourself. Thus, the comparison doesn't exist.
No.
You're right. And of course, us, and there's people listening to this podcast is way more, they go like all the time in aircrafts, like I used to, but I don't anymore. And so, we know that there's something else. So sometimes you have to kind of, manage your expectations.
Yeah.
I'm very good at it, but it's true that when I hear your story about premium economy with Emirates, I'm like, could be better at BA. You remember when we flown we were not together in the aircraft, which is why I'm going to ask the question. We flown to St. Lucia.
Yeah.
That was April 2022, just after COVID?
Just after COVID, yeah.
Did you fly Virgin as well?
Yes.
Did you fly premium economy?
No, we flew
business.
Economy.
Oh, economy.
Yeah, but they have 3 levels of economy, so it's called economy light, which is hand luggage only, economy normal, and then I forget the one that we did, but you get an extra 3 inches of legroom, but it's an economy seat.
I forgot.
Economy deluxe, I think that's called.
Did I fly that as well then?
No, you flew premium.
Then maybe I flew premium. Because I have it's 2022, it's so long ago. Mm-hmm. I think, and clearly, even the way they sell it, if you go simply on their website, Virgin is closer than a business model. They'll have China, so they'll have porcelain, they'll have an actual, so the meal will be differentiated from economy. It will, I don't know if it's the same as business, but at least there's a differentiation there. And they actually, it seems, I haven't checked the website lately, but it seems that they're insisting on it. So probably it's also they're trying to differentiate themselves from BA. Because BA, I've checked after, actually I should have before, but after we rented a bit with Vinod in a previous episode, I was like, what do they actually sell? And they do sell mostly the seat. They do sell mostly the fact that you'll have more legroom. They don't really sell the service. Fair enough. So which means at least they don't lie about it. But Virgin clearly, and Emirates as well, they really push this, kind of... And the reason I'm saying Virgin is that Virgin will try to tell people, between us and BA, that's the difference. And I do remember that the premium economy traveling to St. Lucia to join you guys was a very nice experience. Whereas BA, again, to fly to South Africa on my way to Namibia was a okay experience. I mean, again, for the price I paid, especially comparing to whatever else this was, everything was super expensive. I was happy to have the more legroom, so I cannot complain on any of the things. I didn't have I had a choice of meal unlike you. I didn't have any of the downsides you mentioned. Is that a great product? No. It's an okay product, and I would still, that's I'm a bit I don't know how to say it correctly, but I would still fly it because I'm tall and I'd still rather have the legroom than not. However, if I'm guaranteed, which I won't be anymore with BA because I'm going to lose my silver status, if I were to be guaranteed to have emergency exits in economy, between that and premium economy, I think I'd actually pay economy in the bulkhead, man.
Yeah, and just use that money to stay in a nicer hotel.
Yeah. I mean, it would still mean we're 3 people, unless you have that crazy seat. We're still 3 people. So when you're a couple, it's not always nice to have a third person that you don't know, blah, blah, blah. Especially, I get that, right? Most people do that, but let's forget about flying in a couple. Let's forget where, you fly by yourself. Would you, because I think I would pay just for the emergency exit in economy and not go premium economy. I don't think the differentiation is
big enough. Yeah.
Was what you described with Emirates? It is.
It is, yeah.
And what I remember from Virgin, it is maybe not as great as Emirates, but it is. But BA,
I mean, looking at prices generally for economy versus premium, I'd say they are generally about 3 times higher.
Yeah.
As a rule of thumb, might fluctuate less.
Depending on the route, depending on the time.
Are you getting 3 times the overall experience?
You're not.
Nowhere near. But it's really interesting how you quantified it earlier. Is it economy plus or business basic? Yeah. So think about BA, World Traveller Plus. There's nothing. The word premium is not even mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good way of thinking.
Actually, it's really funny you said that because when I got my boarding pass. And my wife got a boarding pass to fly back with BA. I'm pretty sure that my my boarding pass was in silver because I was silver. Was saying premium economy. I would like to check, but my iPhone Air is the one filming me, so I cannot check on my phone right now. Whereas Mel's phone, I think it said world travel. I forgot. They were not the same freaking.
Oh wow.
Nah. Anyway, but I agree. That was just a point of detail. It is more premium. Let's not either completely, put the baby out.
Yeah.
With the. But I would hesitate. I would not hesitate to fly it again because I want the leg room. If I'm guaranteed to have a bulkhead in economy, I'll probably get the bulkhead in economy. At least if I fly alone and I don't have to think like, oh, we're a couple and we don't want to have a third wheel next to us. But if I were to fly alone, where would I be anyway with someone, whether it's in premium economy or in economy? And I remember, guys, I had the premium economy bulkhead on the return. Even that, I think I would probably pay economy with BA being guaranteed the bulkhead, the emergency exit.
Yeah.
The bulkhead, the front thing, there's more room.
Or that one unique seat. That's the one that everybody wants. They
should charge more.
Yeah.
For this. Exactly. I would be ready because the difference in service.
I'd pay an extra couple of £100 for that legroom seat.
Instead of maybe paying way more for the premium economy where there's nothing, especially because we both said it was for us our 50th. So it was also like something to look forward to, something as a bit we're treating ourselves. And again, I was not disappointed with it. You were because you had like the no food and what thing. I was not disappointed with it. But I forgot about it as soon as I arrived, in the same way I forgot about it as soon as I came back. I mean, there were the Springboks there was nice, but because it was not memorable, and maybe it shouldn't be. Maybe the trip is all it is about. But yeah, I'm not sure it's worth the money.
It's really interesting.
It's hard to say. If you were shorter, guys, anyone in this, probably this is just the power dynamics. It must be. The power laws are. There must be people that are shorter than us listening to this podcast. I don't think it's worth it because if you have the legroom, if you have the space in economy, then why do premium economy at BA? If in Emirates,
yeah, absolutely,
yeah, I do.
It's like I said earlier. It's what you get for your buck, right?
Yeah,
that's the basic principle, isn't it? When you book something, what are you paying for?
Yeah,
and ultimately, if you're not getting great service, you're just not going to do that again, right?
Yeah, I agree. I fully agree. Look, how long are we into? Well, no, we don't have time to do. Palma. We'll have to re-invite you maybe to do Palma. Or we'll do something else because, so Paolo is always, like he said, you're flying lots of, you already said you're flying to South Africa, I think you said. You flew to Porto. So there's a lot of stories. So maybe like you're after a year of him following me, not. We will do another where we can talk about other. Which of the first, do you have anything else you want to add about either BA or your trip to Africa or your trip to Sri Lanka that you wanted to share? Because I don't want to.
No.
Since you're not coming every week, it's hard to Vinod, if you forget to tell me, or Alex, if you forget to tell me something, you can come next one telling me. So I want to make sure that you have the chance to put everything you wanted to put out.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
No, of course. And then, so what is the? I'll run the music a bit later. What is the? I mean, you can tell us about your coming flights, but you're still into it. What is the one you're looking the most forward to?
South Africa.
But
not because of the flight, because of South Africa, I think. So I've got 4 more flights this year.
Where are you going?
So I'm going up to Inverness in Scotland. We work in a few weeks' time, which is just a domestic flight. And then I've got
with whom?
British Airways.
So is it? That's why I didn't want to put the music, because I'm sure it seems to me you're flying British Airways to go to Scotland most of the time.
No, EasyJet most of the time.
Oh, there you go.
It's only because my client is flying BA and I've got to go with him. So he lives much closer to Heathrow than he does Gatwick. Whereas for me, both airports are equidistant or not distant, equidistant, equal time to get to. So it's BA this time, but normally I'd fly EasyJet to Inverness, the better flight times.
So if you remove the flight times, which can be
EasyJet,
is it? Yeah,
EasyJet every time, every time.
Wow.
One, because they fly out of Gatwick, and I think Gatwick's the better airport.
Yes, agreed.
Except for sometimes delays because of the one runway.
Yeah, but they're building the second one.
Yeah.
They're actually doing it, unlike Heathrow is going to be
absolutely.
ready in 500 years.
And the cabin crew are better.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what to tell you, man. I can just, it's also, I mean, I don't have enough experience. That route, I don't have enough experience, but yeah. And I don't have time to talk about it today. I've had an amazing experience recently with BA crew. So I don't want people to think that, at least but I don't think it's the case for you as well. We're like, especially looking to bash, but like it's on average, and you fly to Scotland quite often, you just said it. EasyJet every time.
Yep.
That's and that's starting to be, since I've gotten that EasyJet Plus card. Now it's even Europe. I'm like EasyJet every time.
Absolutely.
And I'm super happy to fly EasyJet actually. And I don't. It's not like out of spite or whatever. I just like it. So go on. You were saying so Inverness and then
Inverness. Then 3 days later, flying out somewhere else, but I can't say what it is because if someone's listening, it's a surprise for somebody, a friend of ours.
Oh, okay.
So I don't want to ruin
off
that.
the record after that.
Then we've got South Africa in February, and then Porto in May.
You're missing one. We're flying in Brighton together.
We are. Oh, yeah. We are going flying in Brighton. Yes.
As a gift, we received. We're going to do flight simulator.
Here we are.
We'll tell you about it once we've done it because we have no idea what to expect. What I was asking you the other day over a beer, do you think I can choose the airport we're going to, the aircraft we're going to? I think that's a 320. I think
it's a 320.
Right.
Yeah, we know that.
Can I crash the aircraft? No, probably not. So now, look, I on purpose, I haven't Googled it a lot because I want to have the surprise. So I'm hoping we're going to have a good time. I hope we can. I can be your first officer. You're going to be the
of course,
captain.
because you need to respect your elders. We keep talking about this, Paul. Remember.
So I'll finish. I'll put.
Oh, actually, no. There was one other flight experience on my Safari. I completely forgot about this.
Go on.
So I went on a flight with no engines.
A flight with no engines.
Yeah, hot air balloon.
Oh, you did that in where? Kenya.
In Kenya, it's across the savannah, which
did you
was
like it?
Amazing.
Was the basket? Was it big?
Yes.
How many people?
16 passengers and a pilot.
Okay.
So the basket itself, rectangular. You had the pilot, obviously, right slap bang in the middle. And then you had like 4 little capsules where you had 4 passengers in each.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So you sort of couldn't move all the way around. You could just move within
your own.
But yeah, a really fantastic experience.
Yeah, you had done it before? Never?
No, never.
Oh, I had done it. It's
amazing. Surprised it was completely the reverse of what I was expecting.
As in?
So I thought when you take off, the basket is upright.
Yes.
You get in it and you take off. And then when you land, it tips over and you get out. No, it's completely opposite.
Yes.
When you get in it, it's on its side. So you sort of squeeze yourself in and you have to hold on like it. Well, as the pilot, Riz, who was amazing, a great guy, was saying that you hold on and you feel like Buzz Aldrin in a rocket because you go along. Because obviously as they're heating up the canopy, it starts moving on its side, and then behind, to stop it just drifting off, you are attached to a tractor by a bar.
Yeah, barn. Yeah.
And then once he's got enough air in the balloon and it's ready to go, they just cut the cord to the tractor and up you go. But yeah, you're sort of vibrating along, and that's quite a weird experience. And then suddenly you just go up and it's silent, apart from the burners.
The burners.
But yeah, great experience. But then when you land, you just land upright, and then the guys, sort of the ground crew, come running and they just hold the basket until you hop out.
Okay,
and then it drops. But yeah, an amazing experience.
That's
but
nice.
we went so quickly, we took off and went up to, I think, about 400 feet.
Well,
and he said, I've got to come down. He said, because we're going too fast. There's too much wind.
oh, wow.
So he said, the way you slow down is to drop.
Yeah.
So we were literally about 20 centimeters above the ground, just going along to slow it down. And then it slowly started to
go up again.
Bit by bit. But yeah, amazing experience.
Wow. Yeah, I opted not to do it in Namibia. I've done it in the past. The reason I've asked you about the size of the basket, because you will do it in the future. If the size of the basket is smaller, which means you're closer to the burners at our height, it's an issue.
It was warm.
It is really warm. When I had what was the last time? Probably in Bulgaria, actually, of all places. And the basket was probably holding, 6 people, 7 people, plus a pilot, so 8, let's say. I don't remember exactly. I don't have any... I'm doubting myself, but let's say 8. When the guy put the burner and I'm just standing normally, the burner is basically in my face. And the other guys around me, gals and guys that I was with, I don't think they understood that. I was like, it's super hot. Yeah, it's hot, but but it's not the same warmth and hot when it's like literally in front of your face compared that if you're just 20 centimeters lower, it's already, it's just hot. Yeah. It was, honestly, it was not agreeable at all.
I mean, I think it's the size of the basket in terms of how many people in it, but also how the basket is designed. So the burners were actually quite a way up. So in the little pilot's cabin, he was higher up. So he could reach the burners.
There you go. Whereas ours, everybody was the same level. The burners were basically at our eye level for you and me. So anyway, I was just warning you. It's cool still. I still loved it.
I want to do Cappadocia in Turkey.
The famous one. I've never been, but apparently it's beautiful. Yeah, so there you go. So that's another flight to look forward to. If we don't crash our 320 in Brighton. No, we won't anyway. It's just a simulator. I'll tell you about it once we've done it. So for me, I'm flying actually to, you just mentioned Scotland. I'm flying to Scotland we're at Monday on Thursday. Edinburgh with EasyJet. There you go. See, EasyJet. And then a few days later, I come back, stay 2 days, and I'm flying to the US. I think these are the same flights I said in the previous episode. And in the US, one thing I didn't have, and then I'll play the music when I say that I didn't really... which size is? I think I didn't really count on is that I made a trip. I'll tell you about it after the end of the recording. I made a trip for the podcast to fly an airline I haven't flown in a while, and then to fly in an airport I haven't been in a while, in another airport that I haven't been in a while, is refurbished, and then to come back with a very brand new product just to talk about it in the podcast. So I'm making my life difficult for the podcast. That means I have a layover in the US, right? I didn't count on the fact that there's a government shutdown, and suddenly, I'm hearing that my connecting time, which I thought was going to be more than enough, might not be. So, well, guys, you know in the next episode whether or not I made my connection or whether or not I had to wait extra time somewhere in the US. And that's it. On that note, thank you, Paolo.
Thanks very much.
Happy flying.
Happy flying.
There you go, man.
Oh, that was awesome.